and welcome back to episode 15 of another gaming podcast. I know it's been a while since an official episode, but here it is, episode number 15. I'm joined by fellow co-host Dustin Christ. Dustin, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much, Steven. How are you tonight?
I'm kind of angry. It's football Sunday. My team lost, so I'm trying to get over it by recording a podcast. But other than that, it's been okay.
What's your team, the Seahawks?
No. My team is the 49ers. Who got crushed by the Seahawks last week, so thanks for bringing that up.
Oh, good.
I got crushed today.
I don't know anything about football. I just remember there was like a TV show that they talked about the Seahawks, and I always thought that was a really funny name for a football team. But
yeah, and for some reason they always get like a bunch of Ticketmaster commercials. But anyway, getting off topic. Joined by another co-host. You might have heard of him, Doom Waves. Chance. What's up, Chance?
Well, my team's 3-0, so, I can't complain too much.
I was wondering why I didn't see anything from you about those Chiefs winning on Thursday.
Thanks for your quarterback, by the way.
No problem.
Oh, and I'll try to keep the nostrils of doom at bay today.
All right. And we are joined by a very special guest. When we had put out an announcement, like episode 1 or 2, of people who'd want to be on the show, this guy was one of the first people to reply back saying he'd really like to be on, and we're finally getting him on now, and that is Alex, ReturnToMotherBase. No fault of his own, more fault of ours.
We just forgot.
Alex, thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, it was a combination of forgetting, and then the check I was asked to send you guys never went through.
Yeah.
So, sometimes
baby.
money goes a long way, and sometimes money just never gets there at all.
Yeah.
And for the record, I do not watch sports ball.
Sports ball.
Sports ball!
That's all right. While they're talking sports, Alex, you and I can actually
Sports ball.
talk things that matter, like video games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And speaking of...
But I don't play Madden, though.
Sure you do.
Joe
Speaking of
Montana.
video games... And
Sure you do. Chance, you play Madden on, like, the Super Nintendo.
I, honest to God, have never played a Madden game.
It's so
Never.
superior
Really?
to the new
Never.
versions.
Not any of them. Not a one, ever.
Wow.
It's funny. I had a cousin, and it was like every Christmas he would give me like a sports game. And then one year he gave me Madden, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" And he's like, "That's Madden." I'm like, "Who is he?" He's like, "He's a coach." I'm like Ditka? Does Ditka have his own game?
Wow. He might. I don't know.
I
Ditko
think he did.
was a
Chicago
guy who
Bears
was on
football.
American Gladiators, right?
What?
Was Ditka one of the co-hosts on American Gladiators? Who was the co-host on American Gladiators?
I think
There's
you're
some-
confusing everyone now. I have no idea.
I don't know. I know Ditka was in Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell, and he's the best
Yeah.
part of the whole movie.
That's a horrible movie.
I know, but he was good.
He was good at it, though, yes. But Alex, how about we tell people how to find your channel on YouTube and why you joined YouTube and all that good stuff?
It's www.youtube.com/user/ReturnToMotherBase, all one word. I think that's right. Is that
See,
what it is?
When the things changed...
I can't tell anymore. I just go,
Yeah.
just type
I don't-
in ReturnToMotherBase. And
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think you have to have the user in there, though, because whenever I put, like, the Another Gaming Podcast in my description box, I never use the user whatever, and the link still works, so...
It still works? Okay.
You can leave that user thing out of there.
Well, I know when this thing went to, like, Google+, people started changing... Like, I can't find T.G. Appilaus now unless I put T.G. Appilaus. It gets hard to find people now. But anyways, yes, why'd you come to YouTube, Alex?
Actually, like you pointed out earlier, apparently it was 2 years ago. I didn't realize it was actually that long. But I played a lot of games growing up, and then I dropped out of it. And then something happened in my life, and I was like, you know what, I have to, get back into this whole thing. And I was like, there's really no community that I can find, like, at home, as it were. Like, my friends, we play games, we play, like, Street Fighter or whatever, but that was really it. I just wanted to, discover new things and, meet new people, but you can't really just, stand out in the middle of the street and go, hey, you like Vinci games! People think you're crazy. So I already knew about, like, Happy Console Gamer and all those guys, and I was like, oh, let me just join this YouTube community thing. But one of the things I wanted to do for me personally was I wanted to keep it real. Like, I'm not in it to be popular or whatever. I'm just here to talk and just have conversation.
Yeah.
That's all I ever really wanted. And I did start to do, like, some reviewy things. like, spotlights, and I love doing it. But it's just, I was like, this isn't a review show. This is just me talking. Why am I reviewing things? So those kind of went away.
And now one of your big things is like the questions you do, the nerd questions, right?
I have. Oh God.
What are you up to now?
I'm up to, I think, 55.
Exactly.
And the funny thing is, I actually have about, I think, 70 uploaded on private. And it's just a matter of time for me to unprivate them. So sometimes, like, I don't even remember the question. And then sometimes I'm like, dude, my hair was so long. But just because I just thought of a bunch of them and I just rambled them off. But
that's awesome.
That's funny because like we probably have no idea what Alex really looks like right now. He probably has like this really long beard and like these like he just hasn't shaved or cut his hair in years. He just keeps uploading these old videos.
No, I'm serious. Like behind the scenes movie magic. Watch some of those questions and then watch like one of my later videos. You'll be like, wow, his hair is like 2 totally different lengths.
I guess the things I really like about, maybe since I don't notice, one of the great things about Alex's videos, it's one of those videos you can just put on. You don't really have to watch his face while you're doing it. You can just listen to him. It's like a mini podcast almost when he does some of these videos. I forgot. There was one video I did. I think it was like a sub special. It was like 40 minutes, and in the description, I actually put, "You don't need to watch, just listen." Like nothing happens. Like go clean the house or something. Yeah, it's great how Alex does those questions because that can get the community involved in doing video responses and just trying to answer the questions.
No,
back.
You can't do that. No mas.
Can't do video response anymore.
You can't?
No, it's gone.
Yeah, they took it out.
Oh wow, I did.
Well, you can do a video response and title it video response, but you can't link it to that video anymore.
Why'd they take that out?
I don't know, but it's gone.
There's awful shit.
I think somebody was doing some funny business with ad revenue and video responses. But that's what I heard in the rumor mill. But
wow.
All I know is that I just started to see videos pop up like save video responses, sign my petition, blah blah blah, and then it just went away. So
interesting.
Well,
yeah, because you couldn't leave a video response to it, so it kind of defeated the purpose.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I guess you can still do like Chance says, just title it response too. But that's actually how I did it my first couple because I had no idea how to respond to a video except just titling it that way. But that's unfortunate, but that's cool how it still gets the community involved and stuff. So should we go ahead and get the big ticket out the way and ask the big 3 questions for Alex?
Oh yeah.
All right, we'll start off. Let's mix it up and do your top 3 movies first, Alex.
You changed on me.
It's all 3. It's 3 movies, 3
Wait, when did it start
recording
being
artists.
3 movies? I thought it was just your favorite.
Kidding.
It was just your
Whoa.
favorite.
Just favorite?
Yeah,
That's
you're
how long.
One.
That's
You're
how long.
getting-
Has it been that long?
We're gonna be here for like 40 minutes if it's top 3 for everything.
That's how long it's been since we did the podcast.
Yeah,
Anyway,
man, and I've been waiting for what, like 6 months now, 8 months, just to come on this thing.
I've
There
waited
you go.
6 months for this unprofessionalism.
okay, you can hop out and give us one movie then. There you go.
All right. Well, if I had 3, now I kind of want 3. My top movie, it's actually really funny. It's Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Because that's a movie I can just watch anytime, anywhere, in any mood, and it'll put a smile on my face. In college, watching that movie, I actually saw it the first time in college, and when we had events and parties and stuff, one of my friends, he threw a party at his house, and he actually put in that "Swing Low, Sweet Chariots" song on his playlist. And I kid you not, just like the movie, that came out, everybody stopped what they were doing and looked at like, what the hell is wrong with you? It was just so priceless. And then, I think it was like 2 Halloweens later, I went as Gilbert and he went as Booger. It was hysterical. So
No, I have never seen it. And isn't there more than one, like Revenge of the Nerds Part 2? And
you can stop after the second one. You don't have to watch it.
okay.
Kind of like the Police Academy movies.
No, Citizens on Patrol is good though.
I thought the 4th one was funny, incredibly stupid, and not near as good as the other ones. But I thought it was funny still because Booger gets married.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert! Come on, man.
It's called Booger Gets Married.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nerds in Love. Booger gets married.
It's like the search for Spock. I wonder what's going to happen in this one.
Yeah, for real.
But
See,
if you
from
told
your,
me like what's my favorite like action movie, Total Recall, the original, easily.
The original Total Recall.
Yeah.
Man, these are some awesome answers.
Yeah.
I bought that on Blu-ray. That's like my favorite thing.
Oh, it doesn't need to be
$5
on Blu-ray, but I have it on Blu-ray as well, and it's beautiful.
That movie is so cool. I hadn't seen it in forever, but I bought it for $5 in the Target aisle. And man, that's such an awesome creative idea just behind the concept of that movie. I really
I
like
have it on
it.
VHS.
Of course you do, Chance. Of course you do.
It would be even funnier if he's like, I have it on VHS and I recorded it from TNT.
Yeah.
No, it's the real deal, but it's the original cardboard box that was cut out and put into a plastic clamshell when like it was a rental or something.
Oh, like a la Hollywood Video.
Yeah.
Well, at least our Hollywood Videos when we had them did that.
So what'd you think of the remake with the Australian dude, whatever his name?
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
I can't stand him.
I never watched
Irish.
it.
Oh my gosh.
But I think there's a bootleg of it hanging around here somewhere. The girlfriend is a big movie fanatic at this point. I'm like, no. Although, I do have to say, the New Evil Dead was excellent. And it is miraculous what Sam Raimi and money can do. Because he was able to make the horror movie he always wanted to make.
See, that's what, on a total different aspect, I was excited that he was supposed to be doing the World of Warcraft movie, but I have no idea where that's gone now.
Oh, Bruce Campbell would be so perfect in that, too.
He could do anything in there. I'm not sure what character I'd put him as. But
No. But I mean, he's in like every Raimi movie. It's just like,
yeah.
he would fit.
Now let me pause for a second because we're talking about Bruce Campbell here. Everyone in this podcast right now has seen Bubba Hotep, right?
Correct.
No.
No.
Oh, you too.
Oh, really?
Like we said, you and Alex would have a lot to talk about, so there you go.
All right. I
It
want
is
you to
the
imagine.
most ridiculous thing.
Yeah. Okay, here's what it is. Bruce Campbell plays Elvis in a retirement home, and he fights a mummy.
What?
What?
And there's a black guy that runs around who says he's JFK. That's all you need to know. Watch the movie.
Oh
It's
my god.
It's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Really, I didn't have to. Really, I spoiled the movie for you. I should have just said Bruce Campbell as Elvis, and then just let your imagination run wild.
I feel like it's a movie I could watch on YouTube that's like that movie in 30 seconds, and it'll give me everything I need to know.
If you don't watch it by when you come down, Steven, we're gonna watch it.
We have like a long movie list we're going to watch when I come down there. We're not going to play any games.
I
We're
know.
just going to be watching movies. But, or spoiler, I guess, if people didn't know, I'm going to go visit Dustin here pretty shortly.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's gonna bring me flowers and take me out to dinner.
Which one's the big
Make sure you
spoon?
go someplace expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I get to sleep on the couch. It's going to be great. It's awesome.
Who's the big,
It's
who's
not
big spoon? Who's little spoon?
It's not a couch, Steven. It's a Davenport.
Davenport, sorry.
And don't mess with the dust ruffle.
See, but for when we're talking about movies, I'm looking at your awesome screen capture here for your profile on Skype. I figured you were going to say Star Wars. Yeah,
No, I just love that picture.
that picture is awesome. But we can move on to, since it has artists or they're playing guitars and stuff, what about your favorite recording artist?
This is hard. This is actually really hard. Like, because
Okay.
right now I'm going through a big Judas Priest kick.
Nice.
I don't. It just happened one day. But man, this. I'm still thinking about it actually. But I think end of day. I think it's Megadeth because besides
Love their Power Rangers theme remake. Oh, it's amazing. Anyways,
well,
it is. I'm telling you, it's got awesome guitar solos. I just love it. But go ahead.
I think it's just because Dave Mustaine proved that you can make a career out of complaining. But I think it's just.
I used to be in Metallica.
And then James kicked me out. Boom, gold record. But I think with him, it's just like, I listened to Metallica first, and then looking at like the album notes, Mustaine, D. Mustaine, who the hell's this? And I found out he went on to found Megadeth, and then I listened to Killing Is My Business and Killing Is Good, and I was just so blown back. Like, I loved Kill 'Em All, but this album was just so raw. And to me, it felt so much faster. I was like, wow, these guys are actually really good. Why'd they kick this guy out? Then, I eventually found out. But before, I've only seen Megadeth live once. The first time I went to go see them, I had a family emergency and I missed the concert. Second time I was supposed to go see them, I had a final the next day, and I was doing so poor in the class, I was like, I can't possibly go to this concert, I have to study. The third time, they broke up because he fell off that horse, and then he hurt his hand. And then the fourth time, the tickets were sold out, but I was just so like, I have to see these guys before he calls it quits again, or he changes the band lineup again. That I went to StubHub and I bought pit tickets for I think $160, $170
For the pit area?
for the pit.
Man.
Wow.
Didn't know who the opener was. Didn't know anything. I was just like, I have to go. So my friend and I, we went. The opening band was Testament, and the supporting band was Slayer.
Ooh,
I had no idea.
Damn.
So, how
That was
bad
worth
did you get beat up in that pit?
Oh, I saw Slayer before that, and I saw them actually when they were supporting In Flames, which I thought was really weird. But I was like, wow, no wonder these tickets were so expensive. But it was great. It was such a great show. It was like, I don't know, it was like 4 hours. But it's funny, too, because Dave has like such an ego at this point. Like, I think I got halfway through the set, because their set was all of Rust in Peace, and then a few other songs. But halfway through the set, he just stops, goes over to the mic, goes, oh, we forgot to say hi. Hi. And then they just continue going. I was like, oh my god, this guy's amazing.
Well, you started it off by saying you were on a Judas Priest kick right now, and this will be something for everyone. And you said you're in like a phase of Judas Priest. Have you pretty much just been like metal and stuff your whole life, or have you gone through phases in music, or are you a fan of a variety of stuff? Because like right now, I mean, I'm like 80s rock metal, and now I'm starting to really get into power metal, like Manowar and all that stuff. And I'm actually really getting into like electronic, like 80s pop stuff, like Kavinsky's Outrun and everything. So
Manowar is a very special case. No, I think for me, what's really funny is like my parents were big pop people. Like my mom was into the Beatles, Jefferson Starship. You can tell she was a hippie. My dad was into disco. So literally, when I grew up, I listened to the Bee Gees every morning when I was getting ready for school. It was horrible. But it was just funny because like I forgot, it was one Michael Jackson song. It's the one that Eddie Van Halen did a solo on that I can't remember. I think it was Beat It. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Maybe. Well, whatever. It was the song that he had a solo on. I remember hearing it and I was like, wow, what was that? Like that guitar sounded like all distorted and metallic. And then, it was like as a little kid, like trying to figure out what genre of music this was.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally listened to everything until I found it.
Okay.
Then I was like, okay, rock and metal, that's my thing. But when I started to take guitar lessons in high school, I had this teacher, and he was like, oh, okay, so, first day, he's like, what do you want to learn? And I was like, oh, I want to learn how to play metal. He's like, okay, well, you're going to have to learn everything else. And I was like, why? He's like, because that's how I'm going to teach you. Like, he was old school German from Germany, like very, very strict.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to learn jazz. I'm like, I don't like jazz. He's like, you're going to learn freaking jazz. I was like, okay. And then he turned me on to like, Scott Henderson, Al Di Meola, Stevie Ray Vaughan, like all these great like jazz and blues players. Yeah. And after that, I kind of just got this total appreciation for everything. Like the new Daft Punk album, I think is probably one of the most intelligent musical works I've heard in a long time.
I think
But at the same time, I love Painkiller. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything but lose yourself to dance. It's still better than the stuff that's out there.
But I think, I guess one artist that, I think can happily marry, like, a bunch of different themes and styles is Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails.
Did you get hesitation marks?
No, I have not yet.
Oh, my God, it's so good.
When I saw him live, it was like, I want to say, it's such a weird show because he does everything himself in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
But then he has like all these like famous session players and like artists with him. So like for one song, how PG is this show?
It's not
we had-
PG at all.
We had Grub Gun on one episode, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. All right, so the song Starfuckers, he's like, he's singing his part, and then Manson actually showed up on stage. It's like, what the? Like, he came out, he did that one song, he said goodbye, and he left.
that was during the part where he and Manson were actually talking to each other again.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
But,
anymore.
Are they not now?
No, it was like a brief little flirtation, and then they went back to hating each other.
It is a PR thing.
Yeah.
What about you, Dustin or Chance? Did y'all go through musical transitions in your life? Or you pretty much been stuck with what you've been listening to since you were a kid?
I actually started out as a big Metallica fan, and I will still say Metallica from Kill 'Em All to the Black Album is almost untouchable. And then I can even listen to Load a little bit. But, being a Metallica fan, I was kind of like, I was in their camp. So I never, liked Megadeth. And the only thing I can remember from Megadeth is this video of Dave Mustaine where he's, looking in the mirror and he goes, "Hello, me. Meet the real me." And I'm like, that's
sweating bullets.
Yeah, and I was like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I'm gonna go listen to Master of Puppets. Fuck him. So, but, I went from that to Nirvana to Radiohead. And then with Radiohead, I just I think Radiohead is one of those bands that you can listen to, and it'll just send you in so many different directions. Because I went to jazz from Radiohead, I went to electronic music from Radiohead, I went to this. So that was kind of my progression.
So you kind of started out with some heavier stuff and slowly kind of started getting away from it.
We would hang out with the person who babysat us, their oldest kid. He was really into Metallica. Then he got into he's actually the guy who got me into Marilyn Manson. And so I still listen to some of the harder stuff, but yeah, then I started to kind of get into Nirvana and Radiohead and different things. So.
What about you, Chance?
I actually, I've been all over the place musically throughout the years, and I kind of just kept it all with me. I didn't really abandon anything. But when I started out, I can remember listening to a lot of Black Sabbath when I was a little kid, and a lot of Metallica also because my dad was a fan. And I would say though, he had Justice and the Black Album, but the first one I ever bought was actually Reload, and most people hate that album. But just since it was the first CD, one of the very first I ever bought, I just have this nostalgia for it, and I still really like the songs on it just for that very reason. But I would say also, as good as the early Metallica albums are, I really think that Death Magnetic is actually a fantastic album. It's their latest one with Robert Trujillo on bass. And but I went from Metallica, when I was really into punk rock when I was in high school. A lot of Rancid, NoFX, Bad Religion, Fugazi, Minor Threat, all kinds of stuff. And then, I would also, the genre that really stuck with me the most, when I got into Tool, there was pretty much no looking back.
Yeah.
I got into Tool, and I got into the Deftones, and I got into Nine Inch Nails around the same time. But then I started to explore other what I considered progressive music, and started to listen to some Dream Theater, started to listen to some Rush and stuff like that. And I've just continued pretty much on that path. And I really enjoy progressive rock and old progressive rock like Todd Rundgren's Utopia and stuff like that, and Tool, of course, still, and some electronic music like dance music too. I really like Daft Punk, of course, and all kinds of stuff. So really, I listen to everything, and I love Slayer and Megadeth too. Just throwing that out there.
See, what's funny? What's funny about progressive though? I love progressive rock myself, and I love progressive metal. But when you try to introduce it to somebody who's never listened to anything progressive before, and you have those odd time signatures, they get so turned off.
Yeah.
It's immediate. It's oh, what is this crap? You're it's 7/4. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and another one I forgot to mention is actually I got really into Coheed and Cambria, and there are so many people that can't stand them, but I think they're some of the greatest albums that I own. That they're just so good. But they're same deal. People hear that progressive alternative style, and then they hear his voice, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Is that a girl?
That's the voice is what does it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you read the lyrics and you're this is the nerdiest crap I've ever read.
For real.
Which is
Man
why
Your
they're
Own Jackhammer. What?
Which is
What
why
did you
they're
say,
comic
Man Your Own
books.
Jackhammer?
Like their albums are comic books, so that's what's so awesome.
Do you like Coheed, Steven?
Oh, I love them.
Oh man, we're gonna have to have a conversation later.
We're gonna
Oh,
talk
man.
later. That's awesome.
I did not know this.
Oh yeah, I got
I'm
all
like,
their albums.
I'm a huge. Oh man, that's so happy. Makes me so happy.
I love his voice. I love that high.
See, I think it's charming, but I do agree that it grows on you. Like, because I
Yes.
can remember the first time I heard Favorite House Atlantic, that song was because it was all over the radio at MTV and stuff. I can remember hearing that and being like, oh my God, who is this? They're horrible. And then I just bought the album on a whim. It's like, all right, I'll check this out. And then it's like, top 5 of my favorite albums ever. So.
I like how they'll walk around the street with just like a pocket amp and just playing concerts on the street. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, this is a gaming podcast. We can get back on the games now. And you can tell us what your favorite game is.
Well, because I like this music talk, Rock Band is my favorite, and I do enjoy playing it.
Please
No.
no.
Let me see. Favorite game. It's Final Fantasy IV. I don't even have to think about that. That is a game that I can go back to. It's a game I have gone back to, and even though it's reached the point where I kind of just speed through the text, I just love that style. I love the battle system. I love the class distinction. Now it's like with all these later Final Fantasies, everybody can do everything. Statistics aren't really, I guess you could say, key. Like, looking at Final Fantasy 12 as an example, Vaughn and like Bosch obviously is a little bit more physically powerful, but they can do any job you want them to do.
Yeah.
Well, in Final Fantasy 4, it's like, this is Cecil. He's a Dark Knight. This is Yang. He's a karate man. Apparently that's a job. But it's like that is what they do. And I always like how it was defined like that.
The list of Final Fantasies I've beaten is short, but 4 was my first. And the DS version, which people say is not the best way to play
It's
it,
harder.
but I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was great.
It's harder, I thought. I mean, I didn't bother with the gimmick that Square always has to throw in with putting special abilities on people that shouldn't have them. I didn't use a single one the whole game, and I just went through it. But I like the presentation of it.
I just love the characters, Cecil and them. It's just, and the story, really good. I liked it. And I had to mention, it never fails that the police or whatever it was made a appearance in the background of Alex's mic there. It's like I always hear him in your video too. What is it?
It's terrible. It's terrible. People think I live in a ghetto. I really
like, where does he live?
I actually live in a very nice neighborhood, and I live above a bus station. And ironically, all you hear is sirens. You never hear this damn bus.
I was watching your Spec Ops video yesterday, and while I was actually sitting down getting ready to go to bed, I'm listening to it, and I'm thinking, like, there's something going on outside my house. I'm looking out, like, what's going on? I was like, oh, this is Alex's video. They're in the background of it.
Oh, no, and Sprites and Bytes, like, because he and we talk on Skype all the time, and where he was staying at the time, he was complaining. He's like, oh my God, man, it's like sirens every 10 minutes. At that exact moment, a siren went on outside of my apartment. So he and I are on video chat, and he looks out the window, and he goes, oh, it's you. And I was like, yeah, apparently.
So, Dustin, does Final Fantasy IV make your top 3 Final Fantasy games?
Top 3 Final Fantasy games? Ooh,
Yeah.
jeez. I don't know.
Because I know it's not number 1, but could it be number 3?
I would say it'd make top 5. I don't know if it'd make top 3.
Okay. It does. It hurts a little bit.
Yeah, because, well, you have to think about Final Fantasy 9. Well, 6 is obviously number 1.
Yeah, I know that one's obvious. That one is definitely your number 1.
Yeah. But Final Fantasy 9, I think, would beat it out. And I almost want to say, even though technically story-wise it's a worse game, but gameplay-wise it's a better game, Final Fantasy 5 might even beat it out.
Ooh, 5.
Yeah.
The one that's got, like,
I like
large
5.
jobs.
I love
really
5.
enjoyed 5.
Yeah. But
I mean, the main character, Bartz, is like the most boring person alive. You may as well have, what's his name? Millhouse is the main character. But, he gets it done.
yeah. From a storyline perspective, it's essentially a throwback to like Final Fantasy 1, but with that job system at that point in time. That was pretty crazy.
I still think that's the most balanced, and I know it's not, but I still think it's the most balanced. Pick a class, any class system they've had other than tactics, but you can break tactics really easily.
Yeah. So yeah, it'd probably make top 5, but I don't think it'd make top 3.
Okay. It'd make my top 3, Alex. There you go.
Never played it.
All right.
Well, Chance, if you're gonna
take what I can get.
Chance, if you're gonna play it, I would suggest you find the complete collection for PSP.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Okay, yeah, because for me, that is like the definitive version of.
And that is my least favorite version.
Oh, ooh, really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
See, I do. I hear that that's the best way to play it. So, what don't you like about the PSP version?
I think it was just like I like that HD sprite look, but I think it was like when I first played it, I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna play this again." What did you do to my game? It just visually just turned me off. I still beat it.
Yeah.
But just visually it turned me off.
Yeah.
Being that I haven't played any of them, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh yeah, no.
I won't notice any difference.
My favorite one is still the Super Nintendo version, but that's again, that's also nostalgia glasses.
Yeah, I remember I listened to the whole story not too long ago, but the kid at the bicycle shop.
Yeah, who basically tricked me into learning how to read.
Well, that's cool. So how about we go ahead and get started Well, go ahead.
I was going to just one quick thing. I was going to ask Alex, did you ever download Final Fantasy Dimensions?
Yes, I have it on my iPad here, and I haven't played it yet.
Okay. Well, I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised with it.
I keep wanting to. Like, it was a few months ago. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play it. Then I played 13.2 instead, which I actually liked. I really did like it, even though it doesn't know what the hell it wants to be. But it was just still a good game.
Yeah. I think Steve and I, if we wanted to, we could talk about 13.2 for a while.
Yeah, I love that game.
It was really good.
Loved it.
Never played it.
Chance.
Chance.
You're missing out on all the time paradoxes
and
the inconsistencies.
The love triangles.
I played, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 hours of 13. And I don't know, I just wasn't in love with it, so I just kind of stopped.
You didn't get past the intro yet. That's why.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually quite a ways into it.
Trust me, you didn't get past the intro.
As Lightning and the little dude, Hope, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, playing as those two and fighting what would be the second thing that you summon. Not the one that Snow gets, but the other one, whatever it's called.
Well, I hate to break it to you, you're still not past the intro.
Yeah, you're still there, buddy.
It's like saying, hey man, I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 4 for 3 days now. I'm like 12 hours in. Yeah, man, you're like not even out of the intro yet. You didn't even see the opening credits yet, have you? Oh.
Oh.
Which is why I'm liking Revengeance, because
it'll be about 10 years before I play it.
Oh no, man, Revengeance was so good.
But I can talk about that when I get into games we've been playing. But we can go on to questions now, since we only got 3 of them. We'll go ahead and answer these questions. And Alex, since you're here, why don't you go ahead and ask the question you asked on the podcast from the last episode?
Hey guys, wait, I don't have it in front of me, but I'll improvise. Hey guys,
yeah, go ahead.
What's a one-off game that you think deserves a sequel?
That is a great question, Alex.
I know. Thank you, Alex.
Well, you can go ahead and answer that.
Binary Domain. One of the best games ever made that nobody cared about.
That no one cared about.
That one I'd like to see a sequel to.
Is it really that good?
Oh, yeah.
You know what it is? It's like, it doesn't take itself seriously.
Okay.
And it has the same voice actors as Killer is Dead.
Okay.
Like, you can point them out, because they're the exact same character archetypes that they are in Killer is Dead.
And since you liked Armageddon, Dustin, I think you'd like this one too, because it's got fun. A better story really to me.
It's a really fun game, but other than that, I would like to see a sequel to Vi, which was on the Sega CD, and I know it's on iOS. Because I think they could have done more with it, but I don't know what happened.
Chance, you did play that recently this year, didn't you?
I love that game. I can definitely vouch for a sequel, second the motion.
Awesome. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and say mine, because Binary Domain is a good one. And just because it's like on the top of my head and I really enjoyed it, since you said Killer is Dead, I'd like to see a sequel to Shadows of the
Yeah,
Damned.
that's like
Not Killer's Dead though. Shadows of the Damned, because they left it open to where it can have one, but they probably won't ever make one. But that is my favorite Suda game, and I would really.
Well, no, because I was gonna say Killer's Dead. Isn't it technically a spiritual successor to Killer 7?
I would say they really don't play anything alike. So
Yeah, but I would
be.
say with graphical style and stuff, it'd probably be a.
Yeah, it is. But
Because I guess this is kind of a spoiler on my side. After finishing Killer's Dead, the first thing I did was jump on eBay and buy Killer's Dead.
Oh, what's the price you got it at, if you don't mind me saying? Did you get it under 20?
22.
That ain't bad. That's a good price.
There are advantages to waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. For no
And the GameCube version or PS2?
GameCube.
Nice. Good choice. But yeah, Shadows of the Dam, which I was surprised when you were doing your Spec Ops video, you said you were looking for a third-person shooter. It's like, man, there was the opportunity. But you just
I got that too. I just didn't feel like playing.
I was gonna say you had just finished a Suda game, so maybe you wanted a Suda break.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to Suda myself out.
So I understand that.
Susu Studio.
But what do you think, Chance? What would you want to see a sequel that was a one-off?
Well, this is the game that everybody else was probably thinking about. Enslaved.
Oh, that game was great.
Let's see. I don't know what they would do. I mean, just based on how it ends. But yeah, it'd be cool.
Odyssey of the Great White North. They go to Canada.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't say one, but I'll see if Dustin says it. But
Oh, was it my turn?
yeah, unless we want to talk about Enslaved, it was great.
Well, yeah, it was great. That's really all you need to say. I've been kind of sitting here racking my brain, and the one thing I keep coming back to, and this might be a surprise, is Crystallis on the NES.
That was an excellent game.
Yeah, like in terms of just like taking something that was already established with like The Legend of Zelda and just making it a little bit better, like with RPG elements and a really kind of interesting storyline. I don't know how they would do it. They'd probably completely fuck it up, but I would love to see a sequel.
They probably would.
Yeah, I would love to see a sequel to Crystallis.
I wonder how a game, like you said, if that was they did it better, how Zelda lived on, but something like Crystallis, well, I guess because it's just an official Nintendo property game is the why, but why was Crystallis not as popular? I wonder. Back in the day.
Right now, I'm going to tell you exactly why.
It's probably availability too. I mean, Zelda was shoved down people's throats. I mean, because it was so readily available, and I'm sure you had to actually look for Crystallis. But
you don't have to anymore.
NES.
Anywhere you go, you see a card of Crystallis there.
For the cheap too.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I have honestly never seen it.
I think I got mine for $2.
Good God! I mean, it's one of those games I'm always looking for too, and I can never find it.
I think I paid like $85.
What'd you say? I heard 5, Alex.
What is
Is that what you said?
Oh, you're too kind. 8.
8. Okay.
I'm trying to dig out the instruction manual on that.
Oh.
I'm going to tell you what the problem is.
And I do have the Game Boy Color version. I want to believe too. Have you played both of those? Yeah, I remember you saying if mine was up for trade or something one time, but then you picked up a copy.
Yeah.
Is it an exact copy of the NES, or is it a little bit enhanced? Or
it's pretty much a straight port, except like because it's on the Game Boy, it's kind of zoomed in a little bit.
Mhm.
So it's actually a good bit harder because you don't see the enemies.
Don't see them coming.
Yeah.
What?
So you don't really see them coming.
Yeah, you don't see them coming, and they just kind of sneak up and shank you. So
now the one I was thinking of, which because there's still probably hope for it to come, but was Alan Wake 2. I really want Alan Wake 2 to hurry up and get.
I want that as well. And
yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I feel like that is coming. Like, Remedy knows that if they make an Alan Wake 2, it's going to sell like gangbusters.
But they made that other game instead. Why wouldn't you do Alan Wake 2? I don't know. While Alex's shelf is falling down.
Okay, here, I found it.
There you go.
Alright, hang on. Story of Crystallis. Hang on.
I guess it was a confusing story.
No, it tells you the ending in the instruction booklet.
No,
That's why there doesn't need to be a sequel. Because I remember reading it and I was like, what the? Oh,
son of a bitch!
Great though.
I want to add something to my answer.
Okay.
Deadly Premonition 2.
There you go. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
I'd be afraid of a sequel for that.
I think they should make another sequel for Dust also.
Yeah, I think they
the
are planning
Xbox Live game.
yeah, the Elysian Tale.
Yeah.
I think they are planning on making a sequel to that because
I hope so. Because that game's freaking awesome.
I think it made a lot of money. You know, it made $1 million.
1 million. Which is surprising since everyone keeps dogging on it for being like furries in it. I'm glad it did so well.
Oh, people are stupid.
That game is phenomenal. I absolutely love that game.
In terms of side-scrolling action RPGs, it was pretty awesome.
Well, good.
But does it beat Monster Tale?
Monster Tale was great too.
Monster Tale's more of a Metroidvania. Well, I guess.
No, Metroid/Castlevania style, please.
Oh no.
No, I'm not one of those guys. I take most of the jobs. Yeah.
But Monster Tale would be a great game to have a sequel to as well.
It would actually.
We should change it right now and stop calling it Metroidvania and call it Monster Tale. So anything like that's called Monster Tale.
Or Castle Troid. I'll take
Monster Metroidvania.
Or Ghost Trick. There should be a sequel to. Well, I don't know how it would really work. It would have to be somebody else, I think. But
that's one I never played and really want to play. Didn't you just get a chance or on iOS?
I've played it because they had a free version or a freemium version on iOS. Like you could download it for free and then play for I don't know the first 2 segments or something like that, and then you had to pay for it. So I played it on iOS, and I actually really, really loved it. But I think it'll work better on the DS just because of the stylus. So I think I'm going to hold off and not download the iOS version so I can actually play with a stylus.
Nice.
Because what happened with me was, yes?
I was going to say, guys, I got it. This is the game that it was one-off, and I think we need a sequel to it.
What generation?
I don't remember.
Try to guess it. That old? Never mind. Go ahead.
Started in the 32-bit era.
Knuckles Chaotix 2.
Call of Duty. I think we could really use a Call of Duty sequel.
I thought you were going to say Panzer Dragoon Saga.
Well, see, that's the thing.
That would be nuts.
That would be nuts. But I feel like it's part of the Panzer Dragoon series, so it's not really. I mean, it's kind of a one-off game because it's the only RPG in the series. But it's part of that. It's still part of that storyline. So, if they made a sequel to Panzer Dragoon Saga, I would be all over it.
I've never even watched gameplay or anything of it, but I just recently beat Orta, and I really want to play it right now. So I'm like considering downloading an emulator just to play it. So
it's like 10 hours of gameplay, but it's like the most original 10 hours of gameplay you'll ever get. Yeah,
I'm chomping at the bit, but I'll never ever spend that kind of cash to get it on Saturn.
Now this question just led me into another one. Were you going to say something, Alex? Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say I would never spend that much on a game myself.
No way.
Or maybe if I knew I could use it to buy other things.
Yeah.
Like multiple other things.
Maybe if I had the cash, I'd buy it, play it, and then sell it. You know?
No, one Panzer Dragoon Saga equates out to 5 Suikoden 2s. Something like that.
Yeah, well, what would you do with 5?
I would have one for each day of the week.
Yeah. There you go.
Because I want to preserve that game as much as possible. Well, there's been 5 Suikodens, but I think maybe a revival of the series because it's really dormant.
Well, there's a few Facebook groups out there that are trying to really get Konami to revive that series.
Well, what was that? Wasn't there one on the DS or something?
Yeah, Tier Grace.
Yeah, was that like a sequel or like a spin-off type of game?
It's kind of like it's
non-canon thing.
Yeah, it's like a separate thing, like a side story type thing.
Oh, okay.
Like a different universe and all that shit.
I see. I wasn't sure.
But the question that was popping in my head was, since this was one that had a sequel, or your game you're looking for to get a sequel that probably won't, I was sitting here looking at the new Devil May Cry, which was like a reboot or remake. Is there any series you guys would want to see remade or just rebooted and start from scratch? It's one you'd have to think about. It's one you probably want to prepare for.
I had to turn and look at my games, so I'm like, okay.
So, we're going to hold that off then for just to think about maybe next podcast. It could be a subject or something.
Something rebooted and made from scratch. Ugh. Yeah, we might have to do that on the next podcast. That'll take some thought.
The next question.
I got it. Last Rebellion.
Last Rebellion. I'm thinking of a PC game called with
Look
Rebellion
it up.
in it.
It's an NIS RPG. Just look it up. You'll be like, oh.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I've thought about buying it a few times. I'm like, no, it's...
And me too. Every time I'm like, dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
But the next question will be from Pedro Martins, and I lost it. Hold on. Pedro Martins, what's your opinion on duplicates in a collection? When you buy a remake for a newer system, do you sell the old copy or do you keep both? For example, Persona 4 for PS2 and Vita, or the Ico and Shadow of the Colossus collection. And what are your thoughts on that? For me, I always keep the older copy too. Just never, because most of the time if it's too old, say like Doom 3 on Xbox and I bought the BFG edition, I mean, it's not worth anything anyway, so why would I sell it? But yeah, I always keep the originals.
Right now, Chance is over there red face and getting ready to punch you for saying Doom 3 is not worth anything.
Well, quite honestly, I would agree though.
Yeah.
The BFG version is 100% better than the original to me. But
But yeah, I hang on to my originals there. What about you guys?
Well, I have about 4 copies of Dragon Quest 3 across different platforms. So I think that answers
I was
that.
say, yeah, I just bought another copy of Shadows of the Dam for PS3.
Yeah.
So.
And like every time I go into the GameStop, I'm really thinking about picking up the PS3 version of Nier, and I want to buy the Japanese version of Nier. And I was just like, so I keep the original version, but like with these HD updates, like I don't really buy them that often. Like I didn't buy Kingdom Hearts HD at all. Like I've already played Kingdom Hearts 1. I want Kingdom
You didn't want to
Hearts 3.
see the 4-hour Kingdom Hearts 3 5/8 and whatever days movie? I heard that's on.
Wait for that to be 1999.
Yeah. So.
What about you, Chance? You hold on to your stuff too?
you know, I don't really buy duplicates, or I don't like actively seek them, unless it's just something for collection purposes, like for my id For my id collection, that's just kind of a want to have. I would like to have, or most of the versions of Doom that exist on console. Now there's some that I probably won't get just because I don't plan on getting that system. Like I don't think I'll ever get a 3DO or the 3DO version of Doom. It's just I don't know if it's something that I would even be worth it for me. But so yeah, I have like 10 copies of Doom and Wolfenstein and Quake and all of the above. But, as far as like buying, multiple copies, I just don't do it.
Yeah. All right. That's cool. What about you, Alex? You hang on to your originals?
Let's see. I have Metal Gear Solid on the PS1. I have it digitally. I have it as part of the HD remake thing from the Metal Gear Solid Legacy. I have it on the GameCube. I pretty much, if it has some sort of meaning to me, then I keep multiple versions of it, like Metal Gear. I have the limited HD collection. I also have the Legacy collection, which is the same frickin' thing, just in a different packaging. Final Fantasy IV, I have multiple copies of. Final Fantasy VI, I have, I think, 3 different versions of. But other than that, there's no purpose for me to own, what's a good example here? Like Castle of Illusion. I mean, the girlfriend wants the new one, but I'm like, I already played it, even though I understand it's kind of different, but I'm like, not so much. And
if it's like an HD remake or something, I can see playing it, buying multiple versions, but...
I mean, to me, it just depends on what it is. I loved Kingdom Hearts 1. I loved Kingdom Hearts 2. I was actually excited for this HD remake up until I found out Kingdom Hearts 2 wasn't on it. That being said, though, I'm stoked for the Final Fantasy X HD remake.
Oh, yeah. I will own that. Yes, okay.
I loved it. It's actually one of my favorites. Everybody's like, what the hell's wrong with you? It's such crap.
Oh, man, I love that game.
I had such a blast with that game. I was actually really good at Blitzball, I'm happy to say.
I was not. That's still like one of those things. Like I want to boot it up and make myself be good at Blitzball, but I can't do it.
The Xanderkin to Abe's.
That is one from what I got to play. I loved it.
It's a real. I think it's a good. I didn't play the sequel X2. I never played it, so I'm actually. That's also why I'm excited for this HD remake. So
fuck that game.
Yeah, you're not gonna be excited for very long.
No, I've heard the stories, and I already know about the the space love magic that goes on. So
Fuck that game.
It could be the best thing ever. It could be a hidden gem now.
No,
Who
it's
knows?
It can stay hidden.
yeah, it's just I mean the costume quote unquote system sounds interesting.
Dress Sphere.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Garment grid.
And you call me the sexist one? Jeez.
Well,
It has nothing to do with sex. It has everything to do with it's a fucking gay system.
No, it has everything to do with the sex because every costume that Riku wears is like she's like 97% of her body is exposed.
Yeah. Which is not my complaint with it. It's just that it's a horrible game.
Anyways, the last question of the day. Mr. RPG Crazy keeps the streak going. It might be an easy answer, it might be a tough answer for some people, but what video game series do you prefer more, Zelda or Ys? Dustin, you can go first.
Oh, you son of a bitch. God, I don't know, because on the one hand, like, Zelda's been with me my entire life. Ys is kind of a new love.
Exactly.
But
same here. Playing
the games, I have to say I enjoy Ys more than Zelda, and I'm sure I am sure that people's buttholes are just clenching right now for me saying
Jamie's gonna like castrate you.
Yeah, this podcast is gonna get like 90 dislikes just for me saying that. But I don't know what I mean. I know what it is. It's the fact that Adol is a redhead and I'm a redhead, so I identify with the struggle.
The struggle.
Ginger rage.
Yeah. The music in Ys is always like jaw-droppingly amazing.
Oh, yes, agreed.
And
Definitely.
I haven't found an Ys game yet, which I haven't played Ys Strategy, so I haven't found an Ys game yet that I've been disappointed with. And I can't say that about Zelda, because, you know, I love Link to the Past. Link to the Past will always be my favorite Zelda game.
Has a Zelda ever disappointed you, though?
Majora's Mask, I fundamentally dislike Majora's Mask.
Okay.
And I know, again, people's buttholes are now just clenching listening to this. Well, not right now.
At your front door now.
Yeah. But,
that's some people's favorite Zelda, yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, the ones that they hate, like Wind Waker, I love Wind Waker. I think Wind Waker is one of the best ones ever made.
I'm psyched for that HD remake.
Oh, yeah.
I never finished it on the Cube.
Yeah, I did, and I loved every second of it. I was at Kmart today, just kind of perusing, because Kmart's kind of an untapped market for finding markdown games, and they had the remake. They had the bundle there for like 300, and I was like, oh.
Ooh, so tempting.
But I don't want that digital shit. Why can't they just pack the game in there? Like, would it really add that much cost to just pack the game in there?
Nintendo's taking
version of the Hyrule hysterectomy, whatever it's called.
Hysterectomy. Well, I already have the hysterectomy in hardback. So.
What about you, Chance? Well, you're limited on your Ys gaming right now, but
I would have to go with Zelda just for that reason.
Yeah.
I think as a whole, I will probably end up liking Ys more, just because just what I've heard and what I've seen. Because I don't know, like I've tried to play Ocarina of Time and I just can't get into it, and for the same reason I don't think that I'll care for Majora's Mask, but I haven't played anything after that. I've never played Wind Waker, and I own Twilight Princess, but I haven't tried it yet. I have the Wii version, and then I've never played Skyward Sword. So I just have a feeling that I'll enjoy the Ys series more, but that's not to say that, as a whole, that I'll dislike Zelda.
That's actually another one I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed Twilight Princess, and I feel like that gets beat up a lot.
You played the GameCube one, though?
I played the Wii version with the fucking terrible waggy controls.
The waggle.
But still, as like a Zelda adventure, I love just how dark it was. Like it felt.
Yeah, I want to play it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about you, Alex?
I didn't like Twilight Princess at all.
What about Ys or Zelda? Which one would you say?
I'm going to take the high road and say Alundra.
Well, I think Mr. RPG Crazy would be happy with that.
He'd probably agree with you, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's right. No, Alundra is excellent if you haven't played it. But, that aside, because I had to say that. It is, you see, it's the same thing with me. I grew up with Zelda. I managed to beat the Adventures of Link as like an 8-year-old. How, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It was like an educated sequence of guessing.
I really want to go back and play that. Like, it's on my. I need to do that sooner than later. I really want to go back and play that game.
One of my friends from Final Fantasy XI, I remember once we were waiting for some event to start, and he was playing that for like, I think, 2 weeks. And we were on Skype. If you could only hear the amount of cursing that he's like, this fucking thing didn't have save states, I swear to God. But he's like that. Why was this so hard? He was like, when I was a kid, I didn't think this was difficult at all. Now it's like the most painful thing I've ever done. But I don't know. Between the two, that's really difficult because I've been on like this whole big ease kick, and I'm stoked for Celceta.
Oh yeah, did you pre-order the silver anniversary?
Absolutely.
Nice.
I'm gonna take that compass and go on and match myself in Queens. Oh man, I really don't know. I mean, if we're talking recently, I have to give it to Adol, I guess. But if we're talking like long term, I guess Link. But I think my whole problem here is like Adol, like he does have a sort of timeline. Link, I don't know. I'm not even touching that one.
Even when you look in the Historia at the supposed official chronology, it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I heard this one theory where it's like somebody is basically telling like a bedtime story. It's like, oh, let me tell you about the time Link did this. And it's like whoever's telling the story is constantly messing it up.
Yeah.
So we just ad-libs it.
It's more like an oral history. It changes each time it's told. Yeah. If Nintendo would say that, it would make completely more sense than them trying to string every game together as,
Then he went back in time and woke up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went underneath a bridge and he found this old bitch thing.
I'm looking at a poster with like 17 different links, so that shows that. If I was gonna say, I feel like someone needs to say Zelda, or everyone's gonna unsubscribe to our channel. But I think I have to agree with East as well, just because I think even though Zelda music is fantastic, like I love the soundtrack to that, it's classic. The East music I do think is better. If the music's better, and I like how it's shorter. It won't take me 40 hours to beat it. I can beat an East game anywhere from 3 hours to 10 hours is like the max. Well, East 7, 20. But it just doesn't take forever.
You keep replaying it.
Exactly. You keep replaying. It's fast-paced combat. It doesn't feel like you ever have to slow down. In Zelda games, at times, you can be wandering around for a little bit, kind of lost, but I just love the pace, the settings and Adol and all the characters in the East series. It's just, I have to go that way too. It could be just like, because it is fresh in my mind. Just recently I've beaten all of them within the past couple of years, so it's there in my head. And Zelda is every couple of years where I dive into a Zelda game. So, but man, RPG crazy. Stop asking these tough questions. Put us on the spot like that.
I gave you the easy answer, Alundra.
Yes, Alundra. We all answered Alundra, just to avoid it. So, but yeah, thanks for the questions, everyone. We really appreciate it. Just keep asking them. Just leave comments in the video here, and we'll try to get to them next podcast when we get to it. So, why don't we go ahead and dive into some of the topics we were going to try to talk about tonight, and I guess get things started off with the recent news of Sega buying Atlas. What was your initial reaction, Dustin, when you heard it?
My initial reaction was, oh, fuck no.
Now that it's settled a little bit, do you still have the same
No, because
feelings,
Atlas has come out and said that it's going to be business as usual. Essentially, I think what's happened is it's not really... It's like the parent company that owns Sega owns Atlas now. So there's still kind of separate entities. Because Sega's had a really shit record of bringing games over from Japan. Like they've just kind of stopped doing it seems like. And it really made me worried that like, oh no, we're, the only thing that is going to be brought over under the Atlas name is like Persona now and SMT. Everything else is like, we're going to miss out on our Radiant Historias and our Code of Princesses and, that kind of stuff. They'd probably bring over Etrian Odyssey too, because it's kind of a success. But what?
He was
said
excited.
woo.
Woo.
I said, woo.
Oh, for Etrian Odyssey.
Yeah.
But now that the dust has kind of settled, and it seems like it's just going to be Atlas performing business as usual, which is incredibly smart because I think in Index Corporation, Atlas was the only thing that was making money. So to let them actually just do their thing, I'm okay with it now.
Yeah, I was wondering if they're gonna let them do their publishing and game developing, or they're going to tell them you can't publish anymore, just make games. That's kind of what I was curious about, if they would do anything to them on that kind of front, because we had a discussion in the chat the other day where I kind of brought up, if people were to list their like top 20 or 50 games of all time, how many Atlas developed games would be in there, and my list probably wouldn't have any in it. And I was just like, is Atlas a little bit overrated as a game developer, or are they really, would it be ashamed if so many didn't come over here? But as a publisher, they'd bring over so many games as a publisher that it would suck if they weren't allowed to publish games anymore over here. Alex, what do you think about any of that stuff, man?
Well, when I first heard it, I thought two things. Oh my god, maybe Yakuza 5.
Maybe.
And then I thought, oh wait, no, it's Sega. No Yakuza 5. I mean, it's just funny because it's like Atlas, US, which is primarily published. Actually, it's all publishing. They're the ones who bring over these, quirky Japanese games. And Sega, while they did bring out Hatsune Miku, which was a complete curveball for everybody because nobody saw it coming, they typically don't really bring out anything. I mean, Binary Domain is one. They all sell,
poorly. Pretty poorly, yeah.
But people love them. Like, I'm a huge Yakuza fan, and I've played them all. And I'm like, I heard about Yakuza 5. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, that's right. I only sold 10 copies, and I have one of them. So it's not going to happen. But, thinking about it, I'm like, wait a minute. Because I have a book off by my job in New York, which is the equivalent, which is a smaller stature style of hard off, which is, out in Japan. And they do have Japanese games. Like, a lot of Japanese tourists and Japanese people who live in New York or working in New York or staying in the States extended do trade in their games, their DVDs, their Blu-rays, everything. So many Atlas games that I know to be Atlas in Japan are actually published by Sega. So this whole acquisition doesn't really shock me that much.
Well, wasn't there a thing like back in 2010, Atlas signed a deal with Sega to publish stuff over there?
They did, because at one point when Atlas, they were doing well, but they were losing money. That's when they got bought by Index, and everybody was like, oh no, they got bought by a mobile, whatever the hell company. And then, same thing, actually. I believe it was the same president said, no, it's business as usual. We're just underneath this umbrella. Like, they're just keeping the lights on for us. Don't worry about it. So I'm hoping that's the same case. Or maybe they'll, the folks at Atlas USA will approach Sega and said, give us Yakuza 5. Let us take care of it. We know what to do. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Like, we're only going to produce 20,000 copies, but I guarantee you all 20,000 will sell.
So you played through Dead Souls as well?
Yeah. Not yet. It's up on deck.
Okay.
Actually, I'm waiting for October. So.
I'm doing the same thing with Dead Space 3 and some other, and trying to redo Resident Evil 6.
Dead Space 3 isn't a horror game. It's a silly boy running around in a suit.
It's a silly boy running around in a suit.
That's why when I initially bought it right on the release day, I took it back after the 5th chapter because I was very disappointed in how
I actually got paid to take a copy of Dead Space. They messed up my order, so they just refunded the whole thing, but I used credit. Mm-hmm. So they refunded me cash and the credit, so I literally made money off buying it.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
It wasn't a lot, it was like $10, but I was like, okay, I guess this is going right back into games.
So, Chance, did you have any feelings toward this Sega Atlas whole hoo-ha?
I'm just really uneducated on how a lot of things work, like in the how games are released and who develops what and blah blah blah. So, of course, it piques my interest a little bit because I've been eyeballing a few more Atlas games, but I mean, I I remember posing the question when Atlas actually came up for sale. When the business went bankrupt or whatever, when Index went bankrupt, saying, well, what if Sega bought Atlas?
Mhm.
And I just remember being kind of curious about it. So when I hear that it actually happened, I was like, wow. So I don't know. I hope it'll be good.
I think
I thought
most
it
were
was
on that Nintendo side, wanting Nintendo to get it, which makes me think, how'd they lose?
I don't know, but I think Nintendo really dropped the ball there, because to have Atlas in their a feather in their cap, that would have been, because Nintendo's been talking about trying to really bring the Japanese to the Western audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to have Atlas in their corner would have just solidified. I mean, a lot of Atlas people would have went out and bought a Wii U, to have those games.
Because some Atlas fans they're diehards like that. They'd want to get it. So.
Yeah, and it's Etrian Odyssey is a 3DS. A lot of Atlas games have come out on the 3DS, so it just made sense to me that Nintendo.
That'd be so good that'd be so perfect on a Wii U, right?
Yeah.
Like with the mapping out your map on the
Oh my
pad
God.
and.
Well, that goes back.
Awesome.
That goes back to having the fucking 3DS player on the Wii U.
True.
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
Chant's going to demand funds if they come up with that idea. He's going to.
I can't be the only one that's thought of that.
Copyright that shit now.
It just makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. But
I think it's funny. It's Nintendo, maybe they did drop the ball on that, but I think if it was Nintendo or Sega, it's probably better for Atlas to be with Sega because they don't have that exclusivity. I mean, I'm not saying, now they're free to make games on Xbox One. They're free to make games for PS4.
Yeah, you're right. Cool.
Because when this whole thing started, I remember on PSN, they put every single Atlas RPG at 75% off.
Oh, yeah, I remember
digital
that.
download.
Right.
And this actually spawned a nerd question I haven't released yet, but I was like, I would be stupid not to get them, saying, hey, here's Crimson Gem Saga, a game that I normally only see for $50, and it's $3.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, you know what, collectorism, screw you. I actually want to play this. So, I mean, I loaded up on them. And then after that, all over cheap-ass gamers, they're like, oh, it's because they're for sale. And Sony's probably like, crap, we don't know when we're going to be able to make money off of them again.
Yeah. I didn't think how stuff like that would affect for digital stuff if someone else like Nintendo owns them, if they have to pull off any Atlas product. Wow. That's
the problem that Square Enix has now with some of their PSP games. I personally hate UMDs, but I have Valkyrie Profile Lenneth. That's not on PSN. Neither are the Star Ocean games.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
There's a few. Outrun 2006 isn't on there either because Sega lost the Ferrari license.
Man,
what's
interesting.
The fatal flaw with digital downloads. We found it.
Yeah. There's a few of them. Same thing. I think some of the Rock Band songs too got pulled.
Yeah. So even if you own the game,
if you own it, you're good. But they can't have it for anybody else.
Okay.
This is the limited edition PS3 because it has this downloaded on the hard drive.
Yeah, there you go.
This one has the best of heart. Can't get this shit no more.
Yeah.
It's rare.
Yeah,
wow, that's interesting.
Full heart track listing for Rock Band 3. Buy it now.
So yeah, it's at least cool to see that they're. I don't know. Sega's still, like you said, they made pretty good games this year with Binary Domain and stuff. And didn't they have something to do with Bayonetta? Where did they bring that over here? Or?
They published the first one, and then they said the sales weren't good enough. And then Platinum, Bayonetta 2 almost never happened. And then this brings up another topic. This is one thing that confuses me about the gaming community in general. First they scream, oh my god, we want Bayonetta 2. And then Nintendo says, here, we're going to publish it, we'll give you Bayonetta 2. And then we said, no, not on the Wii U. It's like, okay, so let's not have it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Platinum make another one, because Platinum has made nothing but gems every single time. For my taste.
Agreed.
And, I would not like to see another Clover Studio or another, what was the one that did Star Wars Battlefront. All these, I can't remember that, but all these great studios, and then they get shut down because nobody wants to promote their products and back their products and their ideas. And to me, shit.
If they would have said it was for any other console except the Wii U exclusive, I think everyone would have been like, oh, that's okay. If it's a PS3 exclusive, oh, yes. But I think there was a problem that it was just Wii U Nintendo. It was going to be on a new console you were going to be forced to buy to be able to play it, which it wouldn't bother me because, I mean, if the game's coming, that's all we need is just another copy of the game. Like, I don't hear people complaining that the next Trails in the Sky is just going to be a digital version, so you're getting it. I mean, isn't that good enough?
I'm actually hoping XC arbitrarily just decides to make like a limited first print run on UMG and call it quits on it. That would be kind of crazy though.
Yeah, but what do they do when they finally release the third? They're going to UMD
I said
it
put
again.
it on Vita.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah. Well, they
Maybe
release.
they'll do like a digital thing, like you get like the soundtrack or something, or a dynamic theme.
Which that just remind me, where in the heck is my Class of Heroes 2 physical copy?
No kidding.
Oh yeah, come on, man! It's Victor Ireland. That man would be late to his own funeral.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to sell that thing for $100. Where's it? No. All those people who sold their copies online and the people who bought it are like, where's my game at?
See, I didn't even bother. I didn't like the first one, so I was like, let somebody else enjoy it.
Well, that's what I'm kind of getting with how I'm playing. I played through the second one the day the digital code worked, and I'm starting to find out that the first person dungeon crawling genre, it just isn't my thing. And just that one, it just wasn't digging with me as well either. So I was like, man, when this physical copy comes in, do I really want it, or should I just give it to someone who probably will like it a little bit more than me?
It's a strange genre, in my opinion. Like, I've played a bunch of them, and, it's like, in general, I can say, oh, I love JRPGs, but with first-person dungeon crawlers, I can't be like, I love first-person dungeon crawlers. I'm like, I have to say I like this one, and I don't like this one, but I enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
It's kind of a hit or miss genre, yeah.
See, I like how SMT4, it's got the dungeon crawl feel, but it's not on narrowed paths. It's out third person view, then it goes to the first person view for fighting. But just that, I don't know. It's not just because it's first person. I don't know why, but they're just not my thing. I know, Chance, you're getting into some Etrian Odyssey, so you're probably really liking the
I freaking love those games.
First person genre.
I think Etrian Odyssey is like a special case in the genre because that map drawing aspect is so addictive.
I know, man. That I can't get over how much I enjoy that. But I'll talk about it more when I get to games I've been playing because I played the Millennium Girl demo, and it's just like if I ever thought that the genre or the DEO games could get stale, I mean that one just really just brings it back because it's got so much more to it.
Oh, you said that is a demo, right? So if I wanted to try that, I can download this Millennium Girl.
I played it for like 3 hours. So I mean, it's a substantial demo.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
So just like 4 was?
right,
Yeah,
and it'll carry over when you get your physical copy.
yeah. Or you can get if you can actually buy it right now too.
Right.
On the eShop, like it's already out, but you have to wait till October 1st to buy the physical one.
And it's a standalone game or some type of add-on?
It's a remake
to
of the first game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really, you could skip the first game if you wanted to and just play this one. But I don't know. It's a lot easier than the first one.
The cool thing about
Okay.
this one is though it has like a story mode. So if you're like craving that JRPG aspect of having like a really linear storyline, like it has that instead of it being more like a first-person dungeon crawler where you make your own characters and they don't really interact.
Classes are already set.
Right.
Classes are already set, and you talk to all the characters, and there's cutscenes, voice acting. It's
Cool.
Yeah, it's really, if you're going to play an Etrian Odyssey game and you don't know which one to start with, I really think that this will be that one. Yeah. Because it is just fantastic. It's really good.
Awesome. Well, I'll try the download demo and see if maybe that first person one will click with me. But Unchained Blades, I was actually really liking that one. Yeah. I think just the little things with, I know it's a big thing in dungeon crawler games, but I hate going back to town to get my MP up and going back out there in the dungeon.
You'll like this one then.
Yeah.
You will love EO Millennium Girl because there's a feature called like staircase jump or something like that, and you can like jump from floor to floor without having to actually walk all the way through it.
See, that's a little for us little newbies. That's the stuff I like. That'll make
it's-
it a little bit easier for me.
It's an awesome feature.
Steven, did you not play Etrian Odyssey 4?
No, I did not, because I just, after Unchained Blades and stuff, I just wasn't feeling that first person dungeon crawler and stuff. Even though it was fun when I was playing. It was a good story, but just tough.
Yeah, think with Etrian Odyssey, Untold Millennium Girl, think more like Unchained Blades with the set characters and everything.
Okay. Well, if I can try to segue somehow to the next topic, since we're talking about games, and sometimes niche games don't get reviewed so well, I kind of want to talk about how games are getting reviewed sometimes or not getting their fair shake. Was that a good enough segue, you think, for that?
Kind of.
It wasn't that bad.
Sure.
Considering most of every other niche game that isn't Persona that Atlas has made that have gotten 4s.
Yeah. But anyway, a game just came out recently. This makes it fresh off my mind. Was Killer is Dead, and the game really got hammered by a lot of reviewers, and even by fellow YouTubers and stuff too. And I think Alex said it best in his video, and Dustin as well. It was just getting slammed, and we're just kind of like thinking, why is this game getting reviewed so bad? What is it that people aren't seeing? Or what were they expecting from this game? The game is what it is. It does what it does. How do you guys react when stuff like that happens? Because I knew what I was getting when I bought Killer is Dead. I don't know if it deserves a 4 or a 5, but what are these people thinking when they're reviewing stuff like this? It just makes me angry thinking about it, and probably shouldn't.
Silence.
You first.
Well,
Most
Steven,
of the games I play, everybody hates. So
Yeah. Front mission involved.
yeah.
Oh God, you like that?
Oh man, I love that game. And the Splatterhouse reboot. That's one of my favorite games ever, and it got nothing but bashed.
I think the thing for me was this happened way earlier in the year with the game that Dustin played, and it was Devil May Cry. And I remember when Dustin
It's
bought
actually happened to a couple games that I've played that I've enjoyed.
I linked. I'm a big fan of Rev3 Games and Adam Sessler and their channel, his reviews and stuff. He puts a lot of big words in his reviews. But I showed Dustin his review, told him to watch it. And looking back on his review, and Dustin replied immediately to it like, well, what was he expecting? Like some earth-shattering, like moving, in-depth story? It's an action game. What were they expecting going into this game?
DMC changed my life.
It's like, what kind of mindset are people preparing themselves for when they go into a game?
Yeah.
I think some games are what they are on surface value. You don't need to go digging and trying to find some life-changing events. And maybe that's what people are doing with, like, Killer is Dead. I mean, it's what it is. It's what the surface is what it is sometimes. So, what do you guys think?
I really think it's one of these things where we've had some really, and like I'm currently playing through one of them now. Like if I say earth-shattering games, like mind-fucking games, BioShock Infinite is probably one of the most perfect experiences ever made. And we have these games that really push the envelope forward and really make you, like when you get done with it, you think about things and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back to like a game like Devil May Cry, and all it is just a fun action game, you know. Back in the NES days, we didn't have that. We just had fun games. There was no real game that was like making you question the nature of reality. And I think we've become so used to these kind of cinematic style games like BioShock Infinite and Mass Effect and things like that, where it actually makes you kind of question things.
I'm going to cut you off for a second. My son's yelling at my door. I'm just going to go tell him goodnight, so continue.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say that just like fuck, now I've lost my train of thought. Just to go back to like a simple, fun action game that doesn't take itself seriously, it's like we have to beat this game up because it's not pushing that envelope like a game like BioShock Infinite would.
I mean, I'll use DMC as an example since Killer is Dead so fresh, but DMC, what was it, like January? It's like you said, I don't know what these people are expecting. You know, it's like, hey, look, it's a reboot. All right, I'll be honest. I played DMC 1, I played DMC 2, I played DMC 3. I didn't play 4. But I don't know if anything crazy happened in 4. But the first 3, they were good action games.
Yeah.
I don't know what people think. This isn't Shakespeare. This isn't like literary excellence. It's basically saying, hey, I am the son of Sparta. Oops, I spoiled it. Sorry. I hunt demons. All right. Oh, there's a demon over there. All right, let's go. This is going to be the biggest job ever. It's like watching any typical like action hero drama show. You know, every episode, some crazy stuff happens and it's the biggest adventure yet. So after a while, they just decide we're going to reboot it, and it's the same thing. There isn't anything deep behind it.
Yeah.
But in this case, since they're rebooting it, they have to explain this new Dante for, quote unquote, the next generation of gamers. And I feel like some of these people are like, Dante changed my life, the original Dante. I don't know how. As is, in Devil May Cry 2, Dante was a poster boy for Diesel clothes, if you guys remember. So I don't know what the big whoop is.
Only one I didn't play, so.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
I
2 hours.
I just think it's funny too that like Devil May Cry got beat up for, and so did Killer is Dead, for sort of its like anti-feminist and that kind of nonsense views. And then like I just got done playing a game like Deadpool that it came out, people played it, no one took it seriously. I mean, that's a very kind of sexist and rude game, and no one took that incredibly serious. But then all of a sudden, like Devil May Cry and Killer is Dead, for some reason these are elevated games and they must be taken more seriously. And isn't it terrible that these games are making women out to be just bimbos and things like that?
I think it's crazy, like, on the same vein, and I saw some reviewers, like, knocking Killer is Dead and, like, taking the score down just because of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't see us taking the score down in Last of Us because it's brutally violent.
Yeah.
There's no consistency.
Grand Theft Auto.
I was going to say, Grand Theft
Yeah.
Auto, you can go around and kill a hooker and get your money back. And it's
Yeah.
like, perfect tens. Perfect tens.
No, but
Yeah.
there's no consistency to the review scheme at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
Really
this
isn't.
just proves it.
That's why YouTube is my favorite thing when people go and they talk about their discussions with games, because you get a gamer's perspective who, I think for the most part, even though some YouTubers are, like with Killer is Dead, ripping it more than it should be, like we take it for what we know it's going to be. I don't know, I guess reviewers like these guys who get paid to do it have to go through certain criteria it has to meet. I don't understand it.
It's
Just like with, go ahead, Dustin.
I was going to say, it's almost getting to the point that if a game gets kind of a middle-of-the-road score, I'm almost more apt to go out and buy that than a game that gets like a 9 or a 10. Because I feel like if I go out and buy a game that gets a 9 or a 10, it's something I've already played. And like the game that gets like the mediocre score is trying something new that like Game Informer or IGN can't get their fucking heads around.
Which is that other thing where I guess in the gaming world you have to try to find that balance. As gamers, we want to see new IPs and new ideas and stuff come out. At least I know I do. But then when a company like Clover and people like that try to bring us something, they go underwater because, they tried to do something different. We're not going to buy it and support it. I just don't understand what gamers want. It's kind of confusing me these days.
Yeah.
I mean, even so, not to cite myself, but listen, if most of Suda's games get we'll say 6 to 7s, and and Killer is Dead gets 6, cool. That means the game is perfect. I'm not saying it's a perfect game, but I'm being facetious about it. But that's his scheme. If he got a 4, I'd be like, yo, what happened here? He dropped the ball. I've never seen a game of his get a 10. I think the highest I've seen is an 8. And even then, in the video review for Shadows of the Damned, I think it is, most of the video they're complaining. And then they go 8.
Yeah.
They're like, the animation's clunky. The bosses are this. There's too many dick jokes. There's too many fart jokes. It's very juvenile. It's very bad. 8.
Yep.
Killer is Dead. Very juvenile. Doesn't make any sense. And the animation sucks. 6. It's like...
It's like you're saying, the balance of stuff isn't there in the reviews, and I was going to bring up even GTA 5 with it getting all these 10s and then the one lone reviewer out there giving it a 7. I was like, well, who's actually getting paid here? Who's being serious? And like with the 7, are they just creating it like you were saying, Alex, for site traffic? Who really means what they're saying in the reviews anymore? Where can we go to trust some word of
RPGfan.com.
There you go.
All I know is that Killer is Dead earned every review it got because of that screen tearing. It absolutely broke the game.
No.
And I'm being completely facetious right now as well.
I was gonna say, yikes. Hang on.
I was gonna say, because like you see it like once or twice, and then like by the third time, you're like you don't even notice it anymore.
Yeah, I
Alright,
would say I just.
You guys have it on PS3, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So right now I'm on Metacritic thanks to the power of iOS 7. And Metacritic, it has a 62. User score is an 8.3.
The user score is 8.3. Awesome.
So, and then over here under user reviews, 24 positive, 1 mixed, 1 negative. Now, I don't know if this is inflated by industry people or whatever,
True.
but 108 ratings give it an 8.3, and 32 critics, it ends up averaging out to a 62, which is mixed or average. So a 62 really isn't that bad.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. It's like there's so much negativity, but looking at this, it's like, guys, all your negativity, I'm not seeing it here.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Metacritic is the end-all be-all, but I'm just saying it clearly 108 people here, real or not, think it's worth an 8.3.
Yeah. I don't think I've logged into Metacritic once.
I just look at it sometimes like when it's a controversial game, like when DuckTales came out, everybody was like, "Oh my God, DuckTales were best!" I can't wait to hear 74.
Yeah,
it's like, guys, what happened? I thought you were all excited.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think I'd still buy DuckTales on the original NES.
I have it on the original NES. I finished the remastered, and now the girlfriend's playing through it, and she likes it, but she's like, "My God, this game is hard." I'm like, "Yeah, old school Nintendo."
I love hearing in your videos when you say like your girlfriend was playing something with you or y'all played something together. That's awesome. I wish I could have got the wife here to pick up a controller and play Diablo 3 with me, but
I tried that. That didn't fly. I got Rayman Legends, but
ooh, okay.
Yeah, but I troll her all the time. It's actually quite funny.
That's just awesome that you have someone there who will play it with you. That's just awesome. But yeah, Chance, what do you think of these reviewers, man? I haven't heard you much.
Well, I always just say that, all the games that I like are badly reviewed anyway. So, I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of reviews. Like I don't get along a lot of sites that get reviews and stuff. I pretty much just trust the opinions of people on YouTube that I frequently watch and stuff like that. And I pretty much just buy games on a whim. Usually cheap. I don't spend a lot of money on new releases and stuff like that. And I think maybe that's a benefit too, is that oftentimes I'm playing a game, that's, even if it's on the current generation, it's been out for a while, so it's had its chance to be ripped apart and or spoke highly of before I get to it. So, I don't pay much attention.
I think that's a very valid point because, like, I just reviewed Star Trek, which I bought for $17, and for $17, Star Trek is a good game. If I would have paid $60 for that game, I would have been a little bit more pissed off about it.
Yeah.
See, but that's what it comes down to. I think it's like you can watch as many reviews as you want. Like I'll use myself with Halo. I played Halo Reach and I absolutely loved it. And I played the first Halo on the anniversary and I was like, it's so-so.
Mm-hmm.
And, I played Halo 2 and I thought it was completely boring. And then I was like, okay, 3, this is the one everybody says is the game changer. I was bored shitless.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes it's just like,
stupid, man.
A game comes down to the individual. Just because 1,000 people say it's shit doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to think it's shit. Or if 1,000 people say it's amazing, that doesn't mean you're going to think it's amazing.
Which is crazy because Reach is probably people's
least favorite.
Yeah, it's crazy.
ODST.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Chance is like, well, the games I like, nobody seems to like.
Yeah.
Dude, that's perfect. That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what I think sometimes some gamers tend to forget. They're like, I'm not supposed to like this.
Yeah. Front Mission Evolved. I loved it.
No, that's different though.
How's it different? How's that
Wait.
different?
Let me ask, Alex, did you play it on PS3 or did you play it on Xbox?
PS3.
Okay, I
There
see
we
this.
go.
Japanese games go on the Japanese system.
Well,
That's
this
my
is
rule.
the thing, though, that I noticed, and I talked to Chance about this when I was playing the game. The control stick, didn't it feel like incredibly floaty on the PS3?
He probably
Kinda.
has no idea. I don't know.
But I'm finicky.
Yeah.
I have a very itchy trigger finger for him to go with it.
Okay. Well, like when it got to with the hover skirt, when it got to that part, like that's where I'm stuck at. I can't control my robot at all. And like I was talking to Chance about it, and Chance was like, "I didn't have any control problems." And I'm just wondering because it does feel like the stick is a little bit.
You should try it on PC.
Yeah. Why not?
My friend has it, and he was playing it once. He's on Steam. He's like, what would be really awesome with this? I'm like, a flight stick. He's like, yeah. Do they still make those?
Like somehow you hook up the Steel Battalion stick to the
And
PC.
control it. Yeah.
He's like, this is my Wanza.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stems from something else where, like, I've noticed when making a video or something on YouTube or reviewing a game or talking about it, it seems like it could be okay. Like, I was a fan of Killer is Dead, which kind of got some poor reviews and stuff, where it could be a bad game and I can like it, and that could be accepted. But if it's a well-reviewed game and I don't like it, oh man, that's when it's like I've committed the ultimate sin. It's okay to have an opinion of a bad game and like it, but to have an opinion of a good game and not like it. Oof.
This is the exact reason why I have not made a Dragon's Crown video yet. Because I'm middle of the road about it. I'm like, it's an alright game, but like I really have no drive to finish it at all.
You gotta play with me and my suicidal Amazon.
Like I don't know. I'm playing it. I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. Nothing's really changing. And then somebody said something to me about once you get to the rune stones, it completely opens the game up. And I'm at that point. I'm like, nope, not doing it for me. And I'm so ambivalent about the game that
the fun of that game is playing with people.
Yeah, it's got to be.
And I think a lot of people harped on this. The game's best feature isn't unlocked until like so many hours in.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But you know what? In that time that you've played, leading up to the point where it's unlocked, you've realized which class you're most comfortable with.
Right.
You've honed your character. You've learned abilities. Yeah.
Yeah, like I started with a dwarf, and I was like, I don't like freaking Gimli.
Oh,
so I went with the Amazon, and I was like, hey, I like this. I die every 10 seconds, but I do a shit ton of damage in the process.
Yeah.
So I went with that. And I finished the campaign by myself, which I do not recommend at all.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the weird thing about it, though, is because, like, with Coda Princess, I loved playing Coda Princess by myself.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and, like, just with Dragon's Crown, I'm just like, meh. And then it's like, Coda Princess Online was like so laggy. Yeah. And I don't know, it's like it feels like the complete opposite of both games. I haven't played Dragon's Crown Online yet, simply because I just can't bring myself to put it back into the Vita. But
oh, you got the Vita one. I thought you got it on PS3.
No, we got the Vita copies.
Oh, never mind. Y'all can't play with it.
We needed to brighten up our Vita library. It doesn't have any games.
I'm actually getting it for the PS3, so I can't wait to play it.
I feel like the game was developed for the Vita, and they're just like, well, let's slap it on PS3 too, because like the touchscreen with you guys have the cursor that you have to move around with the stick, and like for us, it's just like the touchscreen. You can just touch what you want to touch, and the cursor goes right there. So. It feels like it was made for the Vita, and then there's like, it's not going to sell very well in the Vita, so let's make a PS3 version as well.
I'm glad it was successful, though. I heard it did sell a lot, so I'm glad it did that.
But I think I actually agree with you, but at the same time, I think they were trying to figure out, like they felt like maybe they need to do a touch mechanic for the Vita, and then they got to the PS3 one, they're like, hey, so what are we doing with the item pickup stuff? And they're like,
Uh,
oh, shit.
dun
I
dun dun.
totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Make it a twin stick. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. But I would like to, I'm waiting for the game to hopefully go really cheap sometime so I can pick up that PS3 version just because I want to see those graphics on the big screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited
right.
about.
I'm right there with you, man. I think I'll do the same thing for the PS3.
It's absolutely, sex aside, it's absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah. Well, that's
Alex can just run us through, and then we can beat it because he'll be uber leveled by then.
No, but I'll be dead half the time.
What was that JRPG that VanillaWare did that never got brought out over here?
Oh, Grand Knight's History.
Yeah. I really wish that would have came out.
Me too.
Because
that would have been one of the few UMDs I would own.
Yeah, because I love VanillaWare and I love everything that they do, but there's just something about Dragon's Crown. Maybe it's because I'm not a big beat 'em up fan. It just didn't really catch with me.
That would do it.
Yeah.
In all honesty, like
I can't wait to play. Oh, go ahead.
I think you got.
I'll go if no one else does.
I was gonna say I think you got the floor chance.
I can't wait to play Muramasa because
yeah.
the graphics on it look amazing, and from what I've seen, it reminds me a lot of Dust. So I think I'm really gonna enjoy it. So I can't. That's the only other VanillaWare game that I have. So.
I'll say you did, Alex. You said you picked up the Vita copy again too, but you were kind of getting confused with, I have a jump button now, right? Instead of up.
Because I went through it I played through it with Kyosuke on the Wii, and then when I played through it on the Vita, I went with Momohime this time instead.
Mm-hmm.
The translation is so much better. It's not as literal. It's a little bit like there's more. I guess you could say it's like, when you read like an Exceed translation, like they get a little bit of the slang and they take the jabs at it. Well, Axis tends to be a bit more sarcastic. It's a very Axis translation. Like at one point, one of the guys is ugly Momohime, and he's like, "What?" He's like, "You want this? You have money? Go down the street."
Now, see, I always thought having that's what made it a little bit tougher for me to play it on the Wii, was not having that jump button.
Yeah.
So I'm still looking forward to playing it with that jump button. But did it really affect you at all, or was it easily forgotten that you didn't have to push up anymore to jump?
I'm a visual person, so my eyes were basically telling my brain, "Derp, hit the up button." And then I was like, and then my fingers were like, "No, we hit the X button now. Thank you very much."
Okay.
But it's great. It looks so good on that screen.
Okay, because I was having a problem on the Wii just being able to jump up and over. It was getting so irritating. I was like, this looks so good, but I can't jump right.
I was playing Muramasa on the Wii for a while, and then the Vita version was announced, so I stopped playing it. And I feel like I've put the requisite time in to forget the whole thing about the up button, and now I'm ready for
the X
button. To actually play on the Vita. So.
Do you have that one?
Yeah.
It's I'd say it's the definitive way to play it.
I really need to get a Vita because I really want to play that Ragnarok game too.
That game is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's another one. It's like another game I want to play with Alex, but it's like he's finished everything before I even get halfway through it.
Yeah, that's what I meant earlier when I say I have like a very addictive I have to finish it thing.
Yeah.
I steamroll through stuff once I start.
And me and Dustin, that's another one we started playing, but it's like with Final Fantasy 14, which we might talk about it. Sometimes we get to a point where we're like, I think we know what this game's doing, and it might not be hooking us right now, or there was a boss fight we were stuck at in that game too, maybe.
On Ragnarok?
Yeah, I know I got stuck at a boss fight on like chapter 6 or 7 that I need multiplayer help.
Oh, that's right.
The way to get around it.
Oh, the last boss, you definitely need multiplayer help. I'm telling you right now. And I did that by myself. Never again.
Oh no, my volume. But I want to say I had another question I was going to ask. Then we started rambling and I forgot it. So I'm
good at rambling.
It's like, well, if we want, we can go ahead and get into the games you've been playing then. And Chance, we can let you ramble away, man. So, why don't you get it?
Okay. Well, I have played a lot of games since the last podcast, so I guess I'll just talk about the biggies. I guess to start off, we talked a little bit about Etrian Odyssey, Untold, The Millennium Girl. I put just over 3 hours into that. Turns out you can't play the classic mode on the demos because I was going to run through the demo again on classic mode and see what I thought, see how it compared to the original game, but it won't allow you to do that. But I really like the story mode. It's kind of a breath of fresh air to a series that could possibly get dull, just because it is just your first person dungeon crawler, and at least with the first 4 games, that's it. I mean, you go into the labyrinth and you map out the floors and you fight enemies and fight bosses, and then you get items and go and sell them in town and get money and keep going. It's just kind of the way it goes. So, and there is a story with the other games. It's just it's not really in the front runner, I guess. It's all about the gameplay and the style of the gameplay. And I've put over 35 hours. I'm looking at my backlog account right now. 35 hours and 2 minutes into Etrian Odyssey 3. And I'm only on the second stratum, and I think there's 5, maybe 6. I'm not sure. So I'm not anywhere close. But I will say though that once you get to a certain point, like your character levels and stuff, it does get quite a bit easier, and you can go faster. I've just been taking my time and grinding a lot. So I could probably be further than I am in the second game. I've just kind of taken my time. But yeah, I mean, each stratum has like 6 floors or something like that, and 5 or 6 floors, and then you go to the next one, and then you just go through and complete quests and fight the boss, and then go back and it's they're big games. But I think with this one, it'll flow a little bit better with Millennium Girl, just because it's got anime cutscenes and that set up the story for you a little bit, and at least on the easy casual mode, which is what I'm playing, or what I played the demo on, it almost plays itself because the battles are so simple. I'm sure the difficulty will ramp up once you fight stronger enemies and stuff, but at least at the beginning of the game, you're able to kind of get your footing before it hands your ass to you like the rest of them do.
So don't let Arrow know you're playing anything on easy mode.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Pure evil were his exact words.
Yeah, pure evil.
Pure evil. So I haven't played, obviously, because I just finished the demo, 3 hours of that game. The other big one that I played a ton of, and I don't have a time stamp on it because there is no counter that I can see, on Diablo 3. I bought it for the PlayStation 3 when it came out on the 5th, I think it was, of September.
I can't remember.
September 3rd. I bought it on the 3rd, and I beat it by like the following Saturday, I think. I want to say it was like the 7th, something like that. And that game is awesome. I know people will stand by the PC version, but if you're like me and you don't have a very good PC and you're not used to playing PC games and you want to try this out, definitely worth your money to try this out. It is a fantastic game. Lots of fun. I'm on my second playthrough right now, Nightmare, on Act 3. So I've put tons and tons of time into it. It's just a lot of fun. And you and I, Steven, played 10 minutes, 15 minutes the other night.
Yeah, just real quick, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that you were on, so I just jumped in your game. And I think it'll be lots of fun to play with someone else, too. Because, that was the one thing that got kind of dry about it, I guess. It was because the game monotonous. You just go around and swing your sword or whatever it is that your whatever character class that you're using.
Well, you'll be happy to know I'm on Act 3 in Nightmare mode. So.
Oh, right.
There you
so
go.
You played quite a bit since the other night then.
Oh, yeah.
Because you were on Act 3 of the first playthrough just the other night, whatever night that was.
Just a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was just like Wednesday or Thursday or something like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, yeah, Hell mode is coming up. Or Inferno. Is it Hell or Inferno?
It's Hell, then Inferno.
Okay.
And then I think Inferno's last, yeah.
Okay. So I'm a level 46 barbarian right now, and it's awesome. I just love the loot fest. Yeah, I love just the running around, picking up different crap, and swapping it out, and I love the jewel crafting too, like whatever you call that, the socketed items and putting the jewels in the different items and stuff like that, making them better. I really like that too, and yeah, it's just a really really awesome game.
Barbarian was a ton of fun, man. Like I'm just remembering because I rolled one after I beat the game with the source. Was it the wizard? Yeah, the
wizard. Yeah, wizard.
Yeah. Then I re-rolled as a barbarian. Oh my god, man! Just the amount of like killing.
Yeah.
like the class itself just gives you an adrenaline rush at the fact that you're just knocking stuff down so fast, and you're like, I need more rage.
Yeah.
The guys I see play just do that spin attack and kill everything. They're just whirlwinding
whirlwind. Yeah, it is fantastic. I actually started another character, Witch Doctor, and I'm so used to like the melee type of character that I'm having a hell of a time. Actually, I
gotta keep my distance. Remember to stay away.
Yeah, I have to back up here. I can't just run and gun. I gotta stay back here, and it's proving to be quite difficult. But I'm also playing it on a harder difficulty, so that's probably part of it too. Is that I'm just not used to the difficulty of it because I did play the first time on easy, so. But whatever. I mean,
you should try Wizard. Wizard. You can once you get comfortable with the spells, you get a pair. You'll like want everything to come in on you.
Yeah,
just so you can cone a cold them and then blow them up.
I really thought about starting over as the Demon Hunter because I saw some gameplay of the Demon Hunter and I thought that looked pretty cool.
Demon Hunter's fun. The later one of my friends at the later levels. Stuff just like explodes and like green, and then you just hear and you don't know what's going on, but you see stuff fall down.
Cool. So
I think it's funny how you unlock the Nightmare, Hell, and Inferno, yet they still have like easy difficulties within Nightmare, Hell, and Inferno.
So really, this game has like
trillion difficulties.
Yeah, 30 difficulties because it gets like there's 4 different versions for each difficulty, and there's like I don't know 5 or 6 difficulties or something like that. There's like Master
mixed with
1,
and if
Master
you throw in hardcore mode on there, that's a whole new window open for you.
Yeah, so really, I mean, this game
medium hard.
Yeah. The problem is like obviously if you replay it several times right in a row, like the voice acting and stuff gets pretty old and gets to the point where you just kind of skip through it. It's like, okay, I just heard this.
I listen to music while I'm playing it now. I don't need the story no more.
Like, I just heard this talking yesterday. I don't need to hear it again. Click, 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 click. You know, so you just kind of scroll through it. But it's an awesome game. Other than that,
there's the cop cars.
There they are.
Yeah, there they are. They found me.
I talked about Liberation Maiden in my last video. I beat that. Really fun on-rail shooter for the 3DS. I beat Panzer Dragoon Orta. That was a lot of fun. It was frustrating at first for me because I was like falling asleep while I was playing it. I just really wanted to play it, but I was tired. So I skipped out on a lot of like the introductory stuff, and I missed pretty much all of the story at the beginning. So by the time I was actually into it, I had no idea what was really going on. But it was fun anyway. And what was cool is you unlock the original Panzer Dragoon game, but TG tells me that it's actually the PC version. It's not the Saturn version. So I don't know what the difference is, but that's just what he mentioned on that video. I beat Evoland, a PC game. Really, pretty cool little concept. Yeah, kind of a graphical and playstyle evolution of the RPG, at large.
That did look really neat. The way it evolves.
It was pretty cool. But like I
said,
I
short
don't know
game?
how much. Yeah, I spent a little more time on it than maybe it's used that I should have. I put about 5 hours into it, but I think you could probably beat it in about 3. I got kind of lost in a couple of parts. Looked like trying to do too much with it. Like I was like, okay, where the hell am I supposed to go? And I was like shooting arrows and trying to like make it more complex than it really was. And really, I just needed to walk out of that area. I was like, okay. But yeah, it's fun. It's worth a few bucks if you can find it on sale on Steam. But I think regularly it's like $15-20, and I wouldn't pay that for it though. But it was fun. I will say that. And I think that's about it, really. Other, that I've been seriously playing.
Yeah.
I put some more time into Halo 4 recently, but that's Halo 4. I've talked about it before. So.
I haven't done any
fun.
like online shooter gaming in a long time. It's crazy.
Oh, neither have I really. I moved my 360 out of my game room, and I just don't play online stuff really anymore.
Well, cool. I guess I can go ahead and go with mine then, since he was talking about Diablo 3. I had been playing Diablo 3 hardcore pretty much the past week and week and a half. Like I said, with chance, I had beat it pretty much in 2 or 3 days. I beat the game, and then I started back up in Nightmare mode. I'm a 45 monk, loving it. And everything Chance said about it's just really fun. The loot fest, getting more gear. I love finding that piece of legendary gear. Alex drops like crazy in this console.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I've
pretty
had like
cool.
15 or 20 of them already.
I resorted to salvaging it because I have so much of it. I really don't need them, but I'm loving it. So, and just the multiplayer drop in, drop out online aspect of it. At one point, I got matched up with a level 60 who was running in Nightmare mode where I was at, which I was like, okay, that's cool, but I mean, we're blowing through everything, so I left the game. So I don't know what the deal was with that, but I know there's this Paragon system, which you've probably been playing more since you were on PC, Alex. Well, do you know anything about this Paragon system that's in there?
Not that I remember. I mean, I finished it very close to release, so...
Okay, well, apparently
maybe that was added later
yeah,
on.
I think it was really recent. When you hit level 60 for more incentive, they give you these Paragon levels that go up from level 1 to 100. I don't know what they do for you, but it makes finding gear, I think, easier. I don't know.
Gives you a discount on the auction house.
Which won't be around.
No, I really don't know.
Yeah, but I've been playing that, and I've actually, I haven't been made a video for any discussions on my channel recently because I've been enjoying playing games here. But I've beaten, since Killer is Dead, I've beaten 3 games, and then after the Star Ocean video I did, I beat 3 more games. But I'll just talk about some recent ones here. Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs. One I was really looking forward to coming out, since I really loved the first Amnesia. And it had the discounted price for, I think, $15.99 if you pre-ordered it on Steam. And I beat that I bought it day 1, played it for about an hour when it came out, and then when I went to sleep and woke back up that evening, I beat it. So pretty much first day, I went through that game, and if anyone's played the first Amnesia, it's really nothing like that. This game really isn't too scary at all.
Oh.
There's hardly any enemy encounters in the game where an enemy tries to attack you in it. It's really the fear that it tries to put you into is through the story that it's telling in the game. And most of the story is told through letters and stuff you find throughout the game. And when you eventually piece everything together, which I think we're so used to wanting to have that big reveal in a game now, or that twist, that I think I know what the twist is way too early in the game. I'm starting to realize before these games, because we're so used to seeing games with twists, that you find out pretty early on in this game if what's going on, which might kill some of it. But the story in it is pretty disturbing and twisted, and that's where the kind of fear and messed up part comes in the game, is just from how the story is. So $20, I would not say buy this at $20, but if Steam does a sale on it, I'm happy with the $15 I paid for it, because the story in it is really cool. But I don't know, the atmosphere and stuff just wasn't there this time around. I like how there wasn't a bunch of puzzles in the way. It's pretty much, have you played Dear Esther, Alex, or anything like that?
I love that game, actually. That's one of my favorites.
It's pretty much like that, where
there's
really nothing much in your way. It's just pretty much a straightforward path almost to just get to the end, and you're getting a lot of story absorbed. And you will have your few encounters, but as far as the story, it's pretty cool. But if you're looking for a scare factor, it ain't there in this one. But I think it is from the same makers who did Dear Esther, so there you go.
'Cause I know, like, last night I was telling the girlfriend about Amnesia to the point where because I never finished it. Like,
Okay.
true story is, about an hour and a half in, because I had the lights off, I had the headset on, I was doing,
Okay.
like, basically what they told you to do.
Yeah.
After, like, an hour and a half, it's just, like, with stuff moving and hearing footsteps and breathing, I was like, alright, screw this shit, and I just uninstalled the game and went to sleep.
Oh man.
Like, I just couldn't take it.
This one does not. There's no sanity meter. There is no running out of lantern fuel. You have permanent light. It's nothing like the first in that sense.
So it's more just like you said, just tries to disturb you as much as it can.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
All right, then I'll probably like that.
It does a pretty good job with the story being disturbing. So another game that was critically acclaimed that I finally played was Journey. I bought the little collector's edition pack, and wow, I love this game. Within the first week of buying it, I beat it 4 times. Right after I beat it the first time, I was telling everyone on the chat I wanted to go back and play it again, and I did that night. And on my second playthrough, I unlocked a white robe in it to where, I mean, I can just fly whenever I want. It's just, that game is so beautiful. I played it 4 times, and each time I try to play it, I want 100% the trophies in it, but no one ever finishes the journey with me. Like, I get to the last level, and they start not moving or something, or I don't know, like, they don't want to walk through the gate, the end of it with me. It ticks me off because I want to get that trophy, but man, what a fantastic game with the platforming and everything just seems perfect in it. It didn't get old every time I played it. It just, I don't know, it's like I find something different every time within the story that I might have missed or visually that I was like, oh, that was there. What does that mean then? And it was just a really magical game. I really loved that game, and I'm actually planning on playing it again Wednesday because that's when the trophy is where you can't play it for a week runs up for me, so I can play it again and get that one. So if you have not played Journey, play that game. It's you can beat it as quick as 45 minutes if you want, but you need to take your time and really take everything in. You can get a good 3 to 4 hours out of it. So other than that, that's like the three most recently. I want to mention one I did play earlier that I didn't do a video on, Starship Damry or Dampy.
Oh, and the 3DS?
Yeah. Now, as I cough real quick. Okay. Sorry, I muted it so no one knows I cough. But that was a pretty cool first-person horror story type of game as well. So if you were on the fence, if Amnesia kind of disturbed you, but you might get it, Machine for Pigs, Alex, the Starship one might be the perfect balance for you right there. Because that's another like first-person adventure survival horror game in space, and it did have a twist I did not really see coming at the end, so it was really cool. So I highly recommend that one if no one's played it. So check it out. It's really cheap. So and I beat Aladdin on the Super Nintendo for like the 50th time. So there you go. That's all I played.
And
Like
I beat
the
Aladdin.
horror. Oh, and Aladdin.
So Dustin, you go ahead. We'll save our guest for last.
Okay. Well, I beat a few games, which I've already done game discussions on those, so I feel like I'd be really, kicking a dead pig if I talked about it more. But Deadpool and Star Trek, which I haven't beat Star Trek yet, but I really didn't see where like the end game of that game was going to be that spectacular that is going to change.
It's only a free gift, Dustin. You don't have to beat it.
Star Trek? No, I bought Star Trek.
No, I'm thinking of Deadpool. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But here recently, I've been playing some Final Fantasy 14, which I have to say,
yeah, we've played that. I'm sorry.
Really, kind of surprised with how much I took to the online RPG, but at the same time, there is kind of a disconnect that I didn't have with like Tales of Xillia. There's story segments in Final Fantasy 14, but I find myself just not giving a fuck. And the problem with that is this is probably
it could be really good.
It could be really good. And there's a way to watch like the main storyline cutscenes and things like that when you go into your end room. But I haven't done that yet. But yeah, I don't know. I had fun with the game, but at the same time, like I don't see myself becoming an MMO player because really it's just doing quests and getting more gear and equipping, and it's just like I don't know. I don't feel like that sense of accomplishment that I
That
do.
if you don't feel that accomplishment, or when you get the thing with the MMO, if you get that new loot piece and you're not really excited about it, then
Yeah.
there is that might
Yeah.
not be your thing then.
But the thing I do love about it is the huge open environments and how many places there are to explore in that game. And sometimes you can just come across this really beautiful vista that
Yeah.
it kind of makes me want to keep playing just to keep exploring the world. But as far as a gameplay aspect, it's not really grasping me in the way that most people get grasped with an MMO. So, other than that, I've been playing Etrian Odyssey Millennium Girl, like Chance, and this is going to be the one that if you're looking for an introduction into the series, this is what you're going to want to start with because it's just so friendly to new coming players, and you can play it in the classic mode, or you can play it in the new story mode. And I recommend the story mode because that's the one problem I had with Etrian Odyssey 4 is that I just it felt old school, kind of like an old Dragon Quest game with like a minimal storyline, but I don't know. It's just like the gameplay was so good. I wish the storyline was there with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what Millennium Girl actually brings to the table on October 1st. Although, if you want to, you can download it now, but I don't recommend that because Atlas is bringing out another beautiful box set. So, and what the fuck was that?
Now we get delivery trucks.
Those delivery trucks. It's getting to be that time.
I don't have control over traffic. I'm sorry.
Okay. I actually started up a little bit of a game of. I completely blanked on the title. God Eater's Burst.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. Where'd that come from?
I've been playing Project X Zone a while back, and I really like the characters from that game, and so I started to play this. And basically, Steven, if you've played Ragnarok, Odyssey, you've played this.
So you're a little disappointed in it then?
I'm a little disappointed in it, to be honest with you. I haven't put that much time into it. I've only completed 4 missions. I do plan on going back to it eventually, but I don't know. I guess
it's one of them long ones I heard, like tons of hours.
Yeah, and that kind of keeps me away from it because the problem is the controls. It really needs the dual stick of the Vita because you're controlling your character with the stick, but you control your camera with the D-pad. So think about that.
Interesting.
In the middle of combat, yeah, it gets a little
sounds horrible.
It's a bit rough in combat. So, but I like the characterizations and I like the world that they present and stuff like that. So it's something that I kind of want to go back to. But man, it really needs that. It just shows like the flaw of the PSP with only having that one stick. So I played a little bit of that, and then really most of my time has been spent revisiting BioShock Infinite, which that game I don't care. You could.
It seems like you're enjoying it more the second time around.
Oh my god! It's because the thing with it is the first time you play it through, you're just kind of like not rushing through the storyline, but you miss out on so much. And then you go back and play it a second time, and you start exploring the environments and seeing all this stuff that you never saw before. And somehow in the first time I played through, I completely missed out on this test tube that had Elizabeth's first period in it. It's like on the sheet of cloth.
Yeah.
And there was just something about it. It was so disturbing, And the storyline, once you know where the story's going and you play it that second time, it is so much more heartbreaking because you pick up on these little things, like the scene where you come up on Elizabeth. It's like right after you first meet Elizabeth, and you come up on her dancing, and she says, "Come dance with me, Mr. DeWitt." I fucking teared up at that because I knew where the story was going. And I knew what happens at the end, and I just started tearing up. And yeah, for me personally, I don't.
Is it pretty clear right now? Because I know coming off Last of Us, you're on that. I don't know which will be ahead of the other. Is it pretty clear now?
It's pretty clear now because Last of Us was great, but BioShock Infinite is on such a different level. And every time you play it, it's kind of like BioShock 1. Every time you play it, you see something new, and you explore a different nook and cranny that you never explored before. And I know you can do countless things in GTA 5, and I know the mainstream press is going to give it to GTA 5 because they've been paid off. But BioShock Infinite is a complete work of art, and if you have not played this game, you need to play BioShock 1 and 2 first, but you need to get on this series as quickly as possible because this is probably one of the best game series that have been developed in the last, I don't even know how many years. Like, it's so dense. And the thing of it was, I've been looking at, like, Easter eggs in the game, and, like, there's these moments where, like, the action dies down, and you'll just hear, like, this ambient noise in the background. The thing of it is, if you speed that ambient noise up, like, times 1,000, it's a song.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, there's like
things I didn't know.
there's this song playing that, as far as I know, no one has figured out what the actual song is yet because it's kind of distorted a little bit. But if you're just standing around, there's nothing going on, you hear like these random like noises in the background. That's a song that's playing at 1,000 times slower than what it should.
Crazy.
This game, there's so much in this game. Like,
now I have two things to ask you for since you're going through a second time. I know some people saying when they started up their second playthrough, they started to realize there's a lot of running and gunning and shooting. Are you noticing that more the second time around, or is it bothering you as much as it seems a little bit more action heavy again this time around?
It seems less action heavy because I'm taking the
Okay.
time to explore the environments and really try to see everything I can. And I got so pissed off because I was doing this one because there's a lot of big set piece battles.
Yeah.
And it's right after the Daisy Fitzroy incident.
Okay.
I forgot to go to one of the telescopes because I'm trying to get all the.
Oh, to get that.
Yeah. I forgot to go back. I saw the telescope there, but I was fighting the handyman. And then I forgot to go back to it, and I was so pissed off because there's no way to get back to that to save except to start a new game and get back there. So that pretty much ensures I'm going to be playing it a third time.
My second thing being, are you viewing any characters differently going through the second time, like say Songbird? Are you seeing him like Songbird differently or anything like that?
That's the thing of it is I know what Songbird really is.
Okay.
And that's something maybe you and I, because Chance, you haven't played Infinite yet, have you?
Yeah, we don't
No.
want to do any spoilers in this either, too. So
I'm not done with 1 yet.
But
I just downloaded it yesterday.
yeah,
1 or Infinite
Infinite.
on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, I heard it was really nice on PC. So
and you've
It
played
was,
BioShock 1 and 2, right, Alex?
I played the first one, second one I skipped.
Okay. Well, you
Second one I only skipped because I heard multiplayer, and I was like, oh, they cashed in.
Well, I think
it's a good game.
It's a good
It's
game.
a different team, though.
Right, but it's still another reason to visit Rapture.
Yeah, okay.
And that's,
If you like Rapture.
Actually, what happened was, I had BioShock 1, like physical, like old school PC, and I went to install it because GameFly was doing this whole digital download thing, and they had like it was Amazon. You could get all 3 for $19.99.
Ooh, good deal.
And I was like, wow, that's amazing. But I was like, but I still have the first one. So went, put it in, asked for a registration code, and of course, I don't have it anymore. So I was like, yay! I think, the first one just finished installing about a minute ago. Looks
Awesome.
like. But I haven't played BioShock 1 since, the year it came out, actually.
yeah.
You got beastly internet doing a podcast while downloading. That's awesome.
Hardline!
Tethering off a cell phone for the win. Yes.
BioShock is one of those series that I will probably revisit at least once every 2 years.
In Mini Rant, I was so angry to see BioShock not in, I don't even think it was in the top 10 for IGN's top 25 Xbox 360 or PS3 games.
They're so
That
stupid.
ticked me off.
Yeah.
But I'm a BioShock fanboy, I'll admit it. So,
Yeah.
But
like as good as BioShock 1 was, I really think Infinite is on a different level because it just makes you think about so many things. I mean, it makes you think about like modern day America, like how we're so ridiculously patriotic and what that really costs us and things like that. You know, there's so many levels to that game, and then you get into the more later stuff that happens into the story, and it literally the ending of that game still is mind blowing.
Yep.
Now, Steven, you've been talking about game endings and being able to telegraph them. Were you able to telegraph Infinite?
I think in the beginning, I mean, in our discussion thing, I had mentioned I believe I saw what was coming. Like I knew what was going to happen to him, so it wasn't too much of a surprise.
Yeah.
The one scene I can't mention it here. The lighthouse, though. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
When you see things around that was kind of shocking. Like, whoa, I didn't know it was going to be this big, but
yeah,
I won't say anymore.
It's hilarious to listen to you try to not say something.
Yeah, it's.
But where you were here,
I was gonna say, do you want me to like leave the room for a minute and just scream?
Well, we still got podcast listeners. I don't want to spoil it.
Right? Yeah.
But we'll just.
Oh no, you edit it out. It's like, and that's how cheese is made.
That's how cheese is made.
I think we could go ahead. If that's it, we'll let Alex talk about his game.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Well, now I really want to play Bioshock, which is going to put a total freaking derail on my whole action-packed game list. I guess I'll just talk to you guys about it because, you know, it's almost the end of the month. I recently finished Pikmin 2, finally.
I've already been talking about it a while, yeah.
Yeah, I've been talking about it for a year. But I told myself I can't play Pikmin 3 until I finish Pikmin 2. So it was a really relaxing game, but honestly, I liked the first one more. I felt like having the time constraint gave me more of a incentive to do everything as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible.
Is that in all of them, or just the first?
Well, the first one, it's because you're stranded, and then the second one, it's not a spoiler because it tells you right at the beginning. You're paying off your boss's debt, so you're basically going around looking for all these strange items. And by strange items, they're really like everyday items. Like when you find a Game & Watch and it's called like the Joy Maker, and then you like stupid names like that. What's another one? You find like an Ace of Spades, it's called like the Luck Wafer.
Okay.
I think basically it just translates to money and use the Pikmin to do this whole thing. But it also introduces like a co-pilot, and the idea is you can change between Olimar and Louis to make to alternate between Pikmin faster, like commanding them. I didn't do any of that crap. I kind of just controlled Olimar the whole time and ran back and forth. But there's also dungeons now. Like you learn like legitimate dungeon crawling, which is kind of fun. It goes between 1 to like 8 floors, and there's different treasures throughout the floors. And it's kind of roguelike, where if you leave in between, you lose all the treasures you got.
Ooh.
And you have to do the whole thing all over again. Everything respawns, and to an extent, some of the floors are even random.
So it makes you kind of want to finish the whole thing then before you...
Yeah, like there was a few times where like I was running around like 20 Pikmin. I was like, oh my god, if I could just make it to the boss, I could leave with this 2,000 currency that I just collected. And then like some of the like you get a little flag showing that you got every treasure in the dungeon, but sometimes it's just like some monsters tend to eat Pikmin faster, so it's hard to an extent, but I finished it in under 30 in-game days, which I think is kind of average, but it was good. I still like the first one more, but it was more so because I was like, I really want to play the third one.
Anything with controlling like troops or something, I always find difficult. Was it easy? Are these things Pikmin easily controllable or to command?
The AI is not the AI. They get stuck on walls every once in a while, but it's not as bad as the first game. First game, forget it. Like you have to keep whistling at them to pull them. This one, you whistle once, they come running.
Because that's why I couldn't get into games like Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon when you got all these squad mates and stuff. I want to just think of me. I'm sick of commanding people. Even though I know it's totally different from Pikmin, but still.
Come with me, little red man.
Even though I really want to play the Wonderful 101, and that kind of seems the same thing.
And it's funny you mention that because I like Pikmin. I played the demo for Wonderful 101. I did not like it.
Ooh, it's platinum though.
I know.
Oh man.
But again, like this is like when I said like, just because everybody loves it, sometimes you don't like it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. I think there is something wrong with me with this one because I was like, this game does everything that I should like, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just the demo or just like the mood I was in the few times I tried it, but it was like total sensory overload and I just couldn't handle it.
Okay.
But I still have the demo. I'm gonna revisit it, but I didn't pick it up.
All right.
Which I'm kind of disappointed about. I finished it earlier this month, but I finished Tales of Xillia, which is excellent. I'm going to talk about that on my own time.
No, go for it.
I'll be here all day. But I finished it with Jude, so
that's who I'm playing through. I didn't mention that. That's who I'm playing through with. I know Dustin went with the girl Mila.
I feel like I should have gone with Mila when I finished it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, from what I heard, like Jude is how you should first play it, and then you should play it as Mila. Because like when I was playing as Mila, it felt like a bunch of stuff was missing.
Yeah, because there are points in Jude's storyline where some of the characters will say something to him, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, no, we talked to Mila about this."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. Great game though. Yeah. Great game.
I thought I was trucking along in that one. I'm like 18 hours in. And then when I found out from Dustin that I'm not even halfway through the game, I was like, oh, really?
Yeah, it's a lot longer than you think.
I thought Scott beat this in 25 hours.
Well, he said he didn't do any of the side quests, though.
True, yeah.
So.
Oh, the skits and the side quests are what makes it, though.
Yeah, because if you miss some of those side quests, you're missing a lot of the storyline stuff.
I mean, that's one thing, as much as I didn't like Legendia, that's one thing I do have to give the Tales games. Like, when you delve into the skits, the character development is really good.
Yeah.
And unlike Legendia, and I'm only saying Legendia because that was the last one I played before this one, I liked every single character on the team, even that bastard Alvin.
That's what I say. I will say where I'm at in the game, Alvin is the most intriguing right now. I have no idea what's going on with that guy. That's what makes him so great to me, though. But I won't spoil anything from anyone. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut up about it because otherwise
I
will. I also finished Sweet Fuse, which was actually really fun. I have to say.
Is that download game on?
No, it's the dating sim with Kijay Jafune's niece.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually a really fun game. There is no combat, obviously. It's a visual novel. There's like 2 puzzles in the whole damn game, but the different men that you get to romance with, they each have their own distinct personality, and they're all voiced. It's in Japanese though, but they have individual personalities. It's not just I'm the one with the strong sense of justice, and I'm the good-looking one, and I'm the dirty one with a dark secret. Like, no, it's like, the archetypes are there, but the text actually has flavor to it. It's not just, stereotype number 1, stereotype number 2.
So you're playing as a girl trying to find a guy, right?
Well, it doesn't start off like that. You're basically just trying to get the hell out of this theme park that's been invaded by Count Hogstein, who's basically a guy in a pig costume, and rescue Kijay Jafune because he's been kidnapped. Yes, that's the plot. It's funny though. It's like it pokes fun at itself, and the theme park is video game themed. So like the first level is called Samurai Fantasy 7, and then the second level is called Alice Cart 68 or something like that.
Wow.
But yeah. So at the end, it's pretty much like once you hit a certain point in the story, and your affinity with the different men varies, you eventually you'll become. You won't be exclusive with them, but your cutscenes will rotate around time you spend with them, and then one other person, basically the guy who's in second place. Okay. Then you progress through the story, and depending on how you do, you get a good ending or a bad ending. But it's really fun. But other than that, Spec Ops: The Line, I already spoke pretty much ad nauseum about that. But I typically don't do realistic shooters at all, so it was kind of strange. I thinking about it now, I think it was kind of strange that I played it. But it made me pop in Killzone 3 because I was like, oh, let me get in on this this console FPS thing because I suck at Battlefield to the point where I get so frustrated. I'm like, I don't want to shoot people anymore. It's just, I'm like, it literally, it's like,
just get in the tank and run things over then. Take this.
I can't get to the tank.
Everyone else always gets in it.
Everyone jumps
Yeah.
in them, and they're all it's
You get in the airplane and crash.
And, I
I know
run
what
and
you
I'm
mean.
yeah, it's even worse with the mouse. So it's like I run in a room and then literally I fall down. So I was like, let me try Killzone 3, and apparently there's a glitch with patch 1.14 where if you install it, the game will not load at all.
Interesting. Okay.
So I had to uninstall the patch, and so I could play the campaign, which is great because the campaign's actually so far is excellent. I'm about say 4 hours in. I really like it.
And you're still talking about Killzone, right?
Killzone 3, yes.
Okay.
So but I was like, man, but I really want to play multiplayer. But there is one thing that I haven't seen in a game for a long time: bots. So you can literally play
room. Wow.
Yeah, you can play multiplayer games by yourself with bots.
Hooray! I love that when games have bots like that. That's awesome.
I have not seen this since like Unreal Tournament 2004.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, I had a blast playing all by myself.
Call of Duty Black Ops. There you go. They do have a bot multiplayer, but it's not really fun.
Yeah, but that's supposed to train you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like you can make them really dumb and not challenging at all, and I think that's what lots of people do. And if you make them really hard, you won't even get any kills. But yeah.
Quake.
But from what I understand, Killzone 2's multiplayer is still somewhat active. So I was gonna pop that in to try it because I do have a PS4 pre-order, but I don't have any games. So I was thinking, hey, I like this Killzone thing. If I like it enough, maybe I'll just get that.
I was gonna say, has it made you want to get the Vita entry that just came out? And
I heard that is excellent.
So did I. I almost bought it the other day, but
I want to buy it, but I hear it's so multiplayer centric. I want to wait for a price drop on it, like maybe 25 and under.
20-ish, yeah.
Because I know, like, I'll play it a few times. Like, I think only one other person I know, like, in my circle of friends, like real life friends, that has it. I'll play with him once or twice, then we'll never touch it again. So I want to make sure enough people have it. So it's like definitely worth everybody's time. And the last game I've been playing is Rayman Legends with the girlfriend. She's on. We got on the Wii U because that's what it was originally supposed to be for, and that's what I had my pre-order on.
And I hear that's the best version of it.
I would say it is.
Yeah.
I hear the Vita version comes very, very close because of the way the Vita is laid out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I heard that's lacking some of the levels, though. Maybe I don't know.
You can download them now.
Okay, cool.
And those levels aren't necessary. It's like it's like, hey, you beat this board, now let's make it harder.
I like how it has Origins in the game. I mean, that's awesome.
We haven't done any of those boards yet. She was playing Origins because I have it on the 360. She can't handle the 360 controller. She actually hates it. So I understand Origins is going to be on PS Plus this month. So if that's the case, I'm going to download it on there for her to play because I think she only got to like the second board, but she really liked it. But Legends is great. Some people have actually been saying that the game feels samey. I don't know how, man. Like Rayman Origins pissed me off by the third board. This thing I think is an absolute blast. But
I think it's the funnest are like the musical type levels in those games.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
Except the mariachi one. I sucked at that. But it's really fun, especially with 2-player co-op. She prefers to play as Murray or Murphy the Fly, but she's on the gamepad. I'm on the TV. But I think the best part about the co-op is that you can kind of coordinate how you're going to do things. Like separate from when she uses Bird to manipulate the stage for me to get to things. Like there was this one of the challenges to free one of those what's-his-faces, and it's a really long jump. And we're both trying to hover over, and we both can't do it. And I'm like, all right, I got an idea. She's like, okay. I'm like, you trust me. We're going to use teamwork here. She's like, okay. I'm like, all right, on 3, you jump, and I'll be right behind you. She's like, okay. 1, 2, 3, jump. She jumps. I jump off of her head, and rescue what's-his-face while she falls to her doom. I look at her, and I go, yeah, teamwork. She's like, that's not right.
She's like, I died. What kind of teamwork is that? No.
I was like, I think I said, like, the weak must be sacrificed so the strong may live. She's like, you're such a screwed up teammate. But it's a great game. It is absolutely fantastic. And I find it kind of upsetting, but I'm also happy that I was upset that it wasn't exclusive to the Wii U anymore, but I was happy that way the install base is larger, so more people can try. Because I know not everybody ran out and picked up a Wii U on day one because,
I think it's
let's
shit.
be honest.
I think it's shit though that they delayed the Wii U version.
Oh no, that's absolute.
Yeah.
That's horseshit. I totally agree with that. But I just find it so funny that I mean I know there was a contract, exclusivity contract in there somewhere that Ubisoft would take the hit to breach that contract just to put it on every other console. Like I was like, do they really think they're going to make that much? Because Rayman Origins, as much acclaim as it got, it didn't sell like gangbusters like The Last of Us or anything like that. So I hope they made their money back. I mean, worst case scenario, they'll just make another Assassin's. Oh wait, they already are.
I had a guy I was in GameStop because the GameStop here didn't have the silver anniversary edition of Visa like really pre-order yet. Then they finally got the code in for it, so I was in there pre-ordering that and picking up Diablo 3. And this guy came in, he's like, I need to take all my money off of something. He was pre-ordering something. He's like, I got to put it on Assassin's Creed 4. I was like, what? He's like, he was a diehard fan of Assassin's Creed, which that's cool. I mean, I think there's like some games which I don't think you need to worry about pre-ordering. They're going to be there, buddy. Assassin's Creed 4 will be in stock unless you want the special sword that comes in it. I don't know.
Now that Dark Souls special edition, that may not be.
I was asking the guys in chat the other day if anyone's interested in getting the collector's edition. I think if it's $100-something, I'm not.
120.
They did put the price on it.
Yeah, you get a statue, art book, a map, soundtrack, and a steel book.
I wish there was like one more level down.
One more level down one, you just get the steel book and a soundtrack, but it's the retail price.
Okay. Well, that's...
And I actually was really tempted just to throw money at it. I was really tempted to throw money at it, but I was like, I beat Demon Souls, but I didn't beat Dark Souls. And she wants to watch me play Dark Souls because she remembers hearing all the screaming from when I was playing Demon Souls. And she thought it was really
You won't scream as much in Dark Souls, but...
No, she's like, why don't you play it? Why don't you play it? I'm like, I'm scared. Okay? I am really scared.
It's so much easier. It almost feels like, hold on, is this still a Souls game? But still tough, but a lot easier, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I've just heard horror stories of that, like one area that's pitch black and there's like an invisible road.
I think that area can be avoided. I don't think you need to actually go there, but...
Oh, that's reassuring.
Yeah. But,
the last boss is through this way. It's a great.
But it's a fantastic game. So I was going to mention with Legends being co-op, I think that'd be one like game my wife would actually play. But the problem with that being, sometimes you gotta be pretty like fast, like you have good reflexes with the platforming and stuff, and that's where she would just lose interest because she can't kind of take her own pace at it. It just wouldn't work out. So I don't know.
She grew up with platformers herself because she also has a younger brother. So even when she didn't play games, he was. So when we did which one was it? I think it was New Super Mario Brothers on the Wii. The first one. I'm much better at momentum-driven levels, like the levels that push you. Because because I can just keep jumping, I'm good. She's a lot better at the precision.
Okay.
So when it came to that game, we weren't doing it at the same time because that's just way too chaotic. So we were just alternating levels. So if she was doing a level and started to push her, she's like, here you go. I'll be like, okay, and I'd run through the next level. I'm like, I'd see all these crazy jumps. I'm like, here, it's all you. I'm gonna go make a sandwich.
It's just funny because when watching the wife play something like Mario, because she does like that. Like if you're used to gaming, we can pick up a game of Mario. We can just go do it without kind of stopping to jump. We know how to run or when to run, when to time a jump. But watching someone like her, who she could play it, but if she gets to a pipe, she'll really run to the pipe, like let herself run into it, jump straight up on it, stop, do a jump off of it, like so slow pace, and it's like kind of cringing to watch sometimes. Like hold the run, just hold down run, but it just doesn't click together. Like let me They hold these at the same time. It starts getting too much, even with 2 buttons sometimes. But it's just awesome that she plays Legends and stuff like that. So cool. Well, I think that was I mean, I could open up Pandora's box with Alex and talk so much, but I think we got a good amount of time in here for a podcast. What do you say, guys?
We are currently at 2 hours 38 minutes.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Oh, I could easily give you another 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'll say I have to get you back on here because I want to talk about some Wii U talk and stuff. To see if it's still worthy of getting one yet, or if it's still to hold off. But
Come November, it's going to be banana sandwich. I'm telling you that right now. Between the new consoles and then Nintendo basically coming in on November 22nd saying, hey, remember all those games we talked about that you guys seem to like? Yeah, we're giving them to you on this date. So Zelda 3DS, the new Mario game, and then some other game. I can't remember the name.
I keep forgetting the new Zelda's coming out. I keep forgetting we got a new Zelda on the 3DS coming out.
And it's on the same day.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to have any money from November 15th until the 28th. Or
And
whatever
Black Friday is
day,
when I
Black
plan on
Friday
getting
is.
games that have been out that I haven't bought yet because I have a feeling they're going to be like $20.
Like Lost Planet 3.
Or not Lost Planet 3. But yeah, other games.
Okay, maybe I want Lost Planet 3, and I don't know why.
I actually enjoyed number 2 when people hated it. But I do like that franchise. So.
Maybe a Killzone Mercenary.
Or there you go, Killzone Mercenary.
Or Puppeteer.
Everyone will go out and buy Time and Eternity.
Or maybe Grand
I
Theft Auto
almost
5.
bought that. 3 days ago, I almost bought it.
Yeah.
I changed my mind.
Yeah.
But I am going to eventually pick it up. I told myself I'm going to eventually pick it up.
Has the price dropped yet?
I found it used for $29.
Ooh.
And I think I didn't get it because I actually had to buy a new iPad case because my old one exploded.
Yeah.
And these cases aren't cheap.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me get the case so this way I can actually use it as a utility again as opposed to leaving it in the house.
I actually got a pretty nice one for like clearance for like $8. So
See, that's what I had. That's the one
Yeah.
that blew up.
Ah,
So I got this heavy duty one for, I think it came out to like 18.
that's not bad.
Yeah, so it's doing the job so far, but it's a freaking dust trap.
Well, I'll tell you what, by Black Friday, Time and Eternity will be at the great price.
$4.99.
Or to be
Magic
extremely rare and be $80. GameStop will reprint them, and all will be right with the world.
Yeah.
So
It does look like it's a fun ride though for what it is. So
that's what she said. Yes.
oh, I am looking forward to Disgaea D2 though.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It was announced and coming out. So
What was that?
man, new Disgaea.
Oh, yeah. I still need to
If you're
play.
into that.
I have all 4 of them, but I have yet to play any of them.
Dude, 1 is the best. My
Yeah.
second favorite is 3.
Well, I'm really feeling like I need to go, because I've been playing exclusively out here in the living room, and I feel like the retro systems in the game room are feeling very sad, so I feel like I need to go make acquaintance with them again. So
And one more thing before this closes out. Dustin, are you going to get the new Adventure Time explore the dungeons because I don't know?
I don't know, because it doesn't. It's like
I'm definitely getting it, man. I'm getting that game.
okay, well maybe because isn't it like co-op, like online co-op, like dungeon crawling co-op? It's like a Diablo style game.
I don't.
One of you gets it, the other one has to get it. That's the rule. Even if you don't want it. That's how I got Resident Evil 5.
I know.
I don't think it was. It just from looking at the screenshots, it looks like.
It's a top-down like Diablo style game. Yeah, it's not like the first game.
I love those kind of games, so of course I will get it.
I think it's supposed to be like a la like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but not.
Yeah, kind of like that.
It's not saying in the description here what I'm reading about it, so
yeah,
I don't care. It's Adventure Time, so I'm getting.
When does that come out?
November 19th.
Slam a cow. Yeah.
But it comes out for PS3, Xbox, 3DS, and Wii U, so you have a choice now.
Well,
the 3DS gets a nice little collector set, but it doesn't have the co-op.
So there you go.
I don't know. By that time, when is it again? November what?
Right in the meat of games. November
Right in the middle of everything.
Yeah. Because I'm serious now that the house has sold. I'm seriously thinking that like I can completely afford a Wii U this year.
It's a Wii U time.
It's a Wii U time. So
So find out next podcast, everyone.
dun dun.
Will it be
dun.
Wii U time? But anyways, Alex, man, we want to thank you for coming on, man. I know we've been wanting to get you on for a while, so we'll definitely have to get you back again, man. But just thanks for giving us
having
your
me,
time.
dudes. I really appreciate it. I mean, I listen. I don't always comment because most of the time when I do listen to podcasts, I listen when I'm on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always like, oh yeah, I should put a comment up. I should put up a question. Then I just totally forget. I'll be completely honest.
I'm the
But I
same
listen
way.
to most of them. I'd say 2 times
Wow.
at
Oh,
least.
wow. That's 2 times more than I listen to most of. So.
Editing counts. Editing counts.
But
Editing counts. Well, in between all the Rob Halford screams, you have to have some common decency.
But Alex,
But-
again, you can find him on YouTube. ReturnToMotherBase. That's his channel. He's also been on other podcasts. He's not a podcast newbie. He's experienced at this. So
I used to be on one actually. Very short lived.
I did not know you were actually on one. Like had your
Yeah.
own. Wow.
I was on cross-platform for I think
Oh, you were.
for 3 episodes. I think.
I was gonna say that. I remember you were going to be on. Then that podcast kind of ended all together now, right?
Yeah. It ended because everybody.
I kept
The job
seeing new
I had at
hosts. I kept seeing new hosts get put in there. I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, no, they were trying to keep it going, but it's just everybody's schedule got out of whack, and then my new job, my hours were it went according to business.
Mm-hmm.
So if I booked an event on a Tuesday night, that means I had to work Tuesday night. So it was like, okay, we'll do Saturday. I'm like, I got an event Saturday. Oh, we'll do Friday. I'm like, I have an event Friday. It's like, why do you always have events on the weekends? I'm like, when do you think people have events?
That's what
So now
even
now
having this once a month has been, I think mainly because of me having a child and work all the time at nights and stuff. Sometimes can be taxing, so we understand.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
But anyways,
But,
again,
yeah, thank you for having me, guys. Definitely.
no problem. We'll definitely try to get him back. So, with that, we say goodbye, guys. Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys. I think Chance did something in the background there. I'm not
He
sure.
did something. I have
heard
no
the
idea
chick-
what it was.
I said good boy.
Good boy. Say goodbye,
I heard
Alex.
that's what I heard.
Yeah, I heard like a chicken in the background.
What the hell's he doing over there?
We're still recording because we need you to say bye, Alex. No one heard
Yeah.
I
you.
did. I said toodles.
Well, there you go. Toodles.
Say it again.
Toodles.
It again.